Welcome back, everyone, to another Closing Bell live stream. This is pretty exciting. Take a look at some of the price action that we've got going on going into the close over here. We got GameStop pushing up right into the last minutes of the day, up 20%. We've got Churchill Capital, up 14% again after skyrocketing earlier this week, having a one-day sell-off and coming roaring right back. It's absolutely incredible what's happening over at Churchill Capital. The CEO was on this morning on CNBC. I did a great breakdown of that interview. If you haven't seen it yet on the channel, check out the CCIV video. You're not going to get all notifications, so sometimes you just have to go looking on the channel, unfortunately, but the videos are there. Activision, look at this, up 10%, absolutely crushing it. But what's more exciting is really this rotation back to some of these exciting plays here, like the BlackBerry and the GameStop. We'll see how this lasts. Remember, this is a Friday, and remember what happened last week. And this is a warning that we had last Friday as well. This is very, very important for you to remember, and I'm telling you this with 9 minutes to the bell because your option's about to either expire or your opportunity to make a change is about to expire. Obviously, as the day it comes to a close here, we can't trade options in the after-hours markets anymore. So what we want to look at here specifically, remember what happened last Friday. Last Friday, we were at peak hype. Peak excitement for this stock, for GameStop, for AMC, for GameStop stock, for AMC, for everything, peak hype. All of that slowly started plummeting right down over the weekend. We had a lot of hype about silver. We had a lot of hype over what might happen with, hold on, let me turn this down a little bit. There we go. What might happen with moving to a different stock like AMC. We got a bunch of distractions. As soon as we got distractions, we got obliterated. We absolutely got destroyed. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. These were days of destruction for GameStop. Really, really bad. We're at $65 now. We're up 21% on the day, which is really, really good. But folks, what's going to happen next week? That's what we got to be careful about. And remember, as sentiment fades, as peak media goes away, and less people talk about GameStop, we get less new entrants into the market. Let's do our usual update here really quick. Well, let's go look at WallStreetBets. Let's see what WallStreetBets is up to, because WallStreetBets is going to give us an idea of user growth. Remember yesterday, when we did this analysis, we were sitting at 8.5 million users at WallStreetBets. It's now been 24 hours. 24 hours at peak media time, we were adding 1 to 2 million users or people who joined the WallStreetBets community. Obviously, there can be more people. There could be people who read and don't actually join, but still, the rate of growth was amazing. 1 to 2 million a day was absolutely insane. Folks, now we added 100,000 users to WallStreetBets in the last 24 hours. This is very, very low. Let's hit the trends. Be careful. I know it's exciting to hold, but hey, look, we got a 21% update today, folks. You know, nobody's going to blame you if you take, if like yesterday, if you were down in the hole and today you're profitable, nobody's going to blame you taking money off the table because you don't have to tell anyone. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm still holding. I'm still diamond handing, but I'm also, I call myself crazy. So, you know, you got to keep that in mind. Media. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, flat. For GameStop search trends, flat. We did have a bounce off the weekend. That makes sense. We had a bounce when the market opened. But this could potentially plummet over this weekend. That would be bad. This plummets over the weekend. We're going to be at new lows for next week. We're not going to be at a relative strength here of 25 to 26. We might be at 15 or 16. Let's listen to this on CNBC really quick. Let's see what they're saying. This might be relevant.
Research targeting Clover Health was first disclosed yesterday morning, but now Palihapitiya actually tweeting his response to it. He says that yesterday's report was rife with personal attacks, thin facts, and bluster that has been rebuked by the company. He goes on to say that while I may have my own views on short sellers, I do believe they should remain part of the capital markets and recognize the perspective that in some cases they can identify real anomalies. That is not the case here. He goes on to say he'll let Clover's long-term goals and performance speak for themselves. going forward. But certainly the latest bit of news here in what's been just dueling.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon to see short sellers come out and just rag on SPACs. They're really prime opportunities to rag on. So it's not uncommon. Shouldn't change your long-term thesis if you're in the stock. Obviously, get some short-term pain. Although I think Clove's up again a little bit today. All right, let's look at the media attention for AMC, and maybe we'll compare that to silver. So AMC pushed up on Monday substantially on relative to strength here, but fell down on Tuesday a little bit more. Didn't stay as flat as GameStop did. Let's see, let's do invest in silver. Invest in silver. Invest in silver trends. Although I feel like silver was almost a little bit of a distraction, really. That was never really a WallStreetBets official move here, right? Yeah, big peak on Monday. And look what happened with silver, right? This is why this is so important, especially if you're a trader, folks. What happened? What happened on Monday? On Monday, everybody rushes to buy silver. Silver's up 15, 20%. The ETFs are doing well. Boom, what happens the next day? The interest in silver goes away. Boom, the price falls. This is just things to know, things to keep in mind. Okay, so let's go back here because we've got 4 minutes left in these here. Let's see. Somebody here, Donkey Limit says silver was a legit market manipulation attempt. I got to move myself a little bit here. Let me just move myself up a little bit. Let's look at the sticks here too to see what's going to happen here going into the close. I'll put myself a little bit above our. You know what? We'll just go back to the bottom right corner. Here we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So, yeah, that it could entirely be possible. Physical silver is being manipulated with high premiums. Yeah, I mean, you're paying 40 to 50% over right now on spot on some silver purchases. It's incredible. But I'll tell you what's also incredible is looking at GameStop pushing. I mean, it's pushing. People are enthusiastic. People are buy the dip, right? Look at this push up we're getting. We're getting these green candlesticks moving into the closing here at GameStop. This is it. These are your last opportunities. I mean, obviously you could trade after hours on the stock itself, excuse me. But if you're trading options here, this is it. This is your last potential opportunity here to get out. I want to let's see here. Let me give you a quick little update on some of the options that we've done this week here. I figure we may as well give you a quick little after action report on the options that I bought this week, just to sort of review how they did, how they performed. Let's go ahead and pull it up. I'm all for that transparency. So it looks like on, what do we got here? So on Pinterest, the call options on Pinterest are up about $2,400. Not as high as they were yesterday. Pinterest went up almost to 12%. I don't mind if Pinterest is down a little longer. I want some cheaper opportunities to buy Pinterest. It's a great company. My Peloton calls were down about $800. Not bad. Obviously, I'm way net up between the Pinterest and the Peloton calls here. We're up about $1,600 on those, so that's pretty good. The Peloton shares that I bought on this account are negative. I was dollar cost averaging. Most of my Peloton purchases are sub 50, and they're over at my Chase account, which is where the majority of my portfolio is. This was opened up in November. Google, we've got both the Google shares that I purchased and the Google call options I bought collectively up $31,000 here. So Google has definitely been performing well here. Amazon did not, though. Amazon stealing about $10,000 of that. And then just so you could see it, we still have all of our entertaining positions here on GME with the $20. We really bought those for entertainment purposes to see how the volatility would move. All of these were really bought for entertainment purposes. The vast majority of money I invested was into calls, not puts, but we did buy some puts too just to see how they behave. And obviously anything GME related is basically a complete and utter loss. But again, when I made these, I made it very clear that these were for entertainment purposes, so we can track how the market was moving. They were not investment recommendations. And I guess I can't really tell you that anything else is investment recommendation, but I think y'all know what I mean. So let's go ahead and listen to the closing bell that's coming up here. Let's look at the sticks moving up here. What do we got? Moving into the close, here's the sell-off. Here's that sell-off coming at GameStop. This happens right into the close. Let's see if this moves. Can it hold? It's holding. It's holding right now. We got another 24 seconds left. We got Churchill Capital still stable at 14% up. Microvision is a SPAC that I own as well, up 11%. It's out $11. Pretty incredible for a company with no actual, their main LiDAR product isn't actually available. They do have some military applications that are available, but pretty exciting move here. And some of these, Ubiquity up 8%. Great company note. EXPI, folks. How many times have we been talking EXPI? That thing keeps roaring.
And the Russell 2000 index of small caps, big winner again, up 1.4%, closing at its own record high. Wilfred.
I love hearing the bell. It is so fun. Morning bell and the afternoon bell. Super exciting to be part of this. So let's go ahead and look at what happened here. I have to say, I'm shocked EXPI continues to run. Look at that purchase pressure. Why would you buy EXPI right now? Because the split is for the people who owned the shares as of the 29th. Which last Thursday and Friday, I'm like, get in. EXPI has since gone from, $80 to $90, all the way up to $134 a share. Absolutely incredible. We're going to double our share position around, I think it's the 16th is when the split actually occurs. I have to verify that. It might not be the 16th. But anyway, up again 7% today. Really coming into that mainstream attention here. I mean, from when I started pitching this at $49, we're coming up on a 3-bagger here. And it wasn't even that long ago. EXPI has definitely been sending out those dividends. Planet 13 marijuana play been very, very volatile. Might be up 7% today, but not super exciting with how volatile it has been. Let's see here. Etsy. Gosh, Etsy keeps pushing at a 4.6% up for the day, losing a little bit in the after hours. PSAC up again 3%. Where are our losers today, though? And I haven't even seen AMC yet. Let's find AMC here. Where's AMC? AMC down 3% for the day, almost 4% down for the day. Flat in the after hours so far. After hours obviously just began. Bitcoin continues to move up on these stimulus talks, though. You have to say, GME held the line. Absolutely. Want to know something funny? I'm at a syrup club here in Houston, and I'm more distracted by the AMC GME on my phone. Yeah, there you go. So Bitcoin, the more and more we keep seeing Biden double down on stimulus talks, the more we see Bitcoin move up. Bitcoin doing very, very well here, going up now heading right back to 40,000 essentially. I was thinking when we went down to 29,000, I believe there was a good chance we could retrace all the way down to 20K. Didn't happen. We had a couple sell-offs, but we did not get down to those old lows or the old highs and potentially current lows. Anyway, Bitcoin holding stable. Dogecoin at 46. We'll see where that moves. There was supposed to be a big pump yesterday around 9 p.m. I didn't see that happen. I was watching it. I didn't get involved, but I was watching for it. All right, so who lost money today? What's going on? Where are the losers today? GoPro selling off again. Oh my gosh. Another day of selling off at GoPro. GoPro now down to $8.42 here in the after hours. Unity down 14%. Folks, Unity is a great company. Great platform. A big sell-off here, though, after the excitement. I mean, we are right now back at November levels. And this company has only been available for trading since September. It's been straight up since there. Maybe a healthy rebalance here, but definitely down. This is the 23andMe SPAC right here. I'm going to be releasing a video soon on this 23andMe SPAC. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the channel. We've got Social Capital down on all these short seller talks. Honestly, there could be an opportunity to pick up on some of Chamath's SPACs when he gets bad news like this. I kind of like buying in when the short sellers come out, although sometimes you could catch the falling knife for a while. And hey, on a company like Nikola, they were straight up right. So you got to give credit where credit's due sometimes. So what else do we have here? Peloton. Peloton actually ended the day not as bad, at down just under 6%. Not horrible. Still up over the last 2 days, net, essentially at both days, if we look at it that way, because they were up 7% yesterday. And if we average that in, they're still up today. Canoe sold off a little bit. Canoe had some excitement and sold off again. They really just seem to always rubber band back to 15. I think until we get some actual deliveries from this company and some actual like insight on here's what we're doing with autonomy, here's what we're doing with the company, this thing's just going to keep trading sideways for months to come. And that happens with the SPACs. After the merger, the excitement goes away, the traders go away, they trade sideways, just like NEO's trading sideways right now. Enphase trading a little bit sideways as well at the 190s, but that's okay. That's a great company. Shift Technology, probably not going to do anything until they really beat on earnings and surprise people. They're spending a lot of money on marketing, though, so you wonder, are they going to be able to surprise with all the money they're spending on marketing? We'll see. Tesla holding at about 850, certainly up on the Tesla positions, but not as high as it had been running. Not sure if it'll run back to 900 again anytime soon. Tesla seems to run in those 21-day cycles, though, so we'll see. Redfin up 1.47%. Great company to own. Microvision. Can't believe Microvision's still moving up. After hours action on GameStop. Look at this. We're still pushing. Let's zoom in here on the after hours action for GameStop. Wow, we got actually a lot of movement here. Look at that. We had a little bit of a sell-off into the close, but was really fought. And then just a continued jump during the day. Absolutely incredible. Somebody here says they bought the dip on Clove. Let's see what the Clove price action looks like. Clove, that's not Clove, CLOV. Here we go. Yeah, okay, so we had so we had actually a movement upwards after Chamath's statement here. A nice reiterating statement from Chamath, pushing the stock back up about 5 to 6% here. So the dip really was during the day. You would have had to really have bought in early. Look at the volume we got once Chamath started talking. So you really got people to come right back to the stock. Not uncommon at all. Archimoto down 13% today. Not uncommon to have that happen after a big sell-off as well. Let's listen into CNBC for a moment. We'll pull up the Bloomberg terminal next.
Still, Robinhood's customer service complaints soaring during the short squeeze frenzy. Kate Rooney with some new details. Kate.
Hey, Sarah, the Federal Trade Commission saw a surge in complaints about Robinhood last week. That was, of course, during the GameStop trading saga. The agency shared more than 100 reports with CNBC about Robinhood. Those were between January 24th and February 2nd. That was up from just 7 complaints in the prior week. We read through a lot of what these customers had to say, and the comments, for the most part, show widespread frustration with Robinhood's customer service. Some talked about not being able to even leave the app. One says they could deposit, but they couldn't withdraw. Another says, I want my account closed. Others described complaints into what they call sending issues to Robinhood into what they call the void and really never hearing back. We should also point out we don't have comparable numbers yet for the other brokerage firms from the FTC. Robinhood did respond saying that they are committed to, quote, improving the support they provide customers. They say it's a top priority, and hiring of customer service agents also tripled last year. This, of course, speaks to a lot of the growing pains over at Robinhood amid that record growth and the difficulty of keeping up with customer service along with that momentum. The app now has more than 13 million users and, by one estimate, added 600,000 accounts just last Friday. Guys, back to you.
Wow.
And just remind us, Kate, what at all does this mean? What are they saying about what is supposed to be this multi-billion-dollar IPO coming for Robinhood?
Oops.
So if you ask the venture capital investors, they say this growth is a good thing. And some of the growing pains often highlight just that they have more customers. And no matter what happens, even if they have trading outages like we saw in March, some of the restrictions, they are able to add more customers. I talked to one investor last week who said that the growth way outweighed any attrition that they saw. So they're seeing that as the same bet you would make on maybe a social media company that would have that level of engagement and growth. They see it as a good thing, and they all say that the IPO is probably coming sooner than you might think based on some of the headlines last week.
Okay, Rooney, thanks so much for that one. And for more on that story on Robinhood, be sure to check it out on cnbc.com.
All right. Let's go ahead and we'll go to Bloomberg here. Let's see what the short interests and how they've changed. So let's go ahead and jump in here. So pop in here. Let's go to our apps. We just paid, what, 600 something bucks a month for this thing. So let's take a look at this. You bought a bit. Somebody says they bought a Bitcoin. Congratulations. That's awesome. Why would anyone invest in a Chamath SPAC? Are you saying SPACs are okay at premium prices? All right, let's get into the app portal here. Let's see here. Somebody says, love Etsy, but how could you say but? But you should know about SE in Singapore. It's blowing away competitors. Yeah, I have a hard time understanding foreign companies. And that is home bias, which is bad. But it is true. I try to restrict my investments to things I can clearly understand. This is what makes it so hard for me to buy things like mining companies, because I'm not I don't drive up to the mine and go, how y'all doing this month, you know? All right, let's see. Short interest at GameStop. Let's see if it went up. Stayed flat. Did we get under 50%? Yep, 49.7%. Let's look at AMC. AMC now up to 15.8%. And let's do BlackBerry as well. Why not? BlackBerry a little bit up, 8.28%. Yeah, sure. We'll check your ticker symbol here. What is that? GNOG. GNOG. Okay. 5.27%. Somebody's asking for COG. COG. I don't know what that is either, but we'll put in. Chom SPAC. That's right. 6.85% over here. Let's look at Dave & Buster's. You know what? Another one would be the airlines. Spirit. Let's look at Spirit Airlines. 14% short. A little bit of a bump there as the prices have been going up. Dave & Buster's prices have been going up over there as well. Short interest, 22%. Let's see what else we've got here. Qualcomm. Oh my gosh, you guys got a lot of ticker symbols here. QCOM. Let's see. QCOM. QCOM is, why is it not found? Did I misspell? QCOM. Oh, is it just one? Let's see. There it is. Qualcomm, barely anything short. 1.5. BNGO. Let's look at that. Okay, I can't do all of them, but I will do a couple more here. 6.31%. We'll come back and we'll do another round. Peloton. Peloton's nothing. Wow, only 6%. That's crazy. ZOM. Let me look at Zoom too really quick, though. Zoom being ZM. Oh, only 3% short. People know they're going to get squeezed out of that in a COVID time. RKT. RKT is historically high relative to these others. Yeah, 39. Oh, that's actually dropped a little bit. 39.2%. It's down. It was in the 40s. SE trades as ADR. Tattooed Chef as short interest. 9.67%. It's actually been declining. VXRT. Okay, this is the last one I'll do right now. VXRT, short interest. Clove. Okay, we'll do Clove. 32% at Vaxart. And what was the other one? Clove. Yeah, Clove. Is EXP a buy? I wouldn't buy EXP right now. I would wait until after the split, because the share price should fall after the split, obviously to adjust for the new price. But it keeps going up. So because I'm confused by it. Whoever had shares on the 29th is getting an extra share, but the other people aren't. So I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Apple short position. Come on, Apple's got to be like nothing. So this is a short position as a percentage of float. Are they short interest or short percentage? It says short interest as a percentage of float. Yeah, Apple's like the lowest short that I've ever seen. It's 0.64%. Super, super low. All right, let's go back to the candles here. Let's see what else we got going on. I'll also pop on over quickly here to Fox Biz. We'll see if they've got anything going on after the bell here. Let's see. Fox Biz. What are they talking about here?
Plus, betting on the big game, online gambling. It is set to surge for this year's Super Bowl. So many of us stuck at home.
Oh, yeah. Super Bowl. That'll be interesting. That's coming up. Let's see what they're saying here.
Where we do business, and obviously 60% of our sales are here in the U.S. So people tend to think of us frequently just as a U.S. company, but we're quite international.
I presume this.
All right, Columbia Sportswear up 15% today. Okay, let's go back to the sticks for the time being. So what do we got here? Going into the sticks, we've got leading in the after hours here. This Ocugen. I know nothing about them. Somebody asked me to look at that one, and that one was up 61% in the day, 12% in after hours. It's already ran up insanely from like $3 just a couple days ago. And if we zoom back even further, it was $2, $2.75, $1. It was $1 like 4 days ago, and now it's $5. I mean, here you go. If you want hype, here's hype for you. Jeez whiz, that's incredible. Super Bowl with Kevin. Stop avoiding the Doge. Let's see what they're doing right now. We had them up. Bitcoin doing well, still moving up. We got the Dogecoin is at 46. A little bit of a movement up here inside the day. But after hours action, really microvision. Wow, why they keep pushing it is beyond me. But okay. I got some shares in there, so I'll take it. We got Churchill Capital maintaining that positive movement into the after hours. GameStop maintaining the positivity into after hours as well. We'll see how that trend changes next week, obviously. No real losers, though, in after hours here. A lot of excitement and enthusiasm here. Palantir went up as well. I was really wanting them to get under 30 so I could buy some. Palantir Technologies. What are they, 34 now? Yeah, 34 even right now. Yeah. Vavark's candles. I don't even know what that is, though. Vavark's candles. People got slaughtered in the 60% drop. Yeah, be careful with these smaller companies. You gotta. Wow, look at that candle, though. Yeah, I mean, this is an example of taking the staircase up, right? Over the last few days, and the elevator down. Boom, at the open. No, this is actually right before the open, isn't it? Let's see here. Let's see. Let's go to 30 minutes. No, it looks like, yeah, right at a little bit right after the open. What happened? Jeez, 60% dip. Ouch. Yeah, straight down. That's unfortunate. All right, in your honest opinion, how do you feel about your interview with Vlad? Did you believe his reasoning for everything? You know, I might do a separate video on that. I think that would be more appropriate. Is really watching the video again, because when you're in it, you know, sometimes you miss what's said. I know some people were complaining that I was distracted. I was paying so much attention that I was taking notes on everything he was saying. Problem is my iPad's right here, and I used not this camera, which I usually do. See, like if I take notes like this and we're on this camera, it's not as bad. But I use the camera that's over here, and yeah, I got some hate for that. Oh, well. Yeah, that happens. Okay, wow, Microvision up 4% now in after hours. It just keeps moving, this thing, after hours. Look at this. Push, push, push over here. Absolutely fascinating. GameStop flattening. GameStop now flat. Now negative potentially here. Bouncing up and down. We'll see what GameStop does. Let's listen to this for a second.
Take a look at shares of Westport Fuel. This stock is moving higher here after hours on a report from Reuters that Amazon has placed an order for more than 1,000 truck engines that run on compressed natural gas. And these engines are made by Westport Fuel and Cummins in a joint venture. You can see shares are higher by 35% of Westport Fuel here after hours on this report from Reuters, according to two sources familiar with the matter. Back over to you, Wilf and Sarah.
Courtney, a fascinating one.
That's really interesting. I pulled up the Reuters article. Amazon said on Friday it has ordered, so it's not pre-ordered. It has ordered 1,000 truck engines that run on CNG as it tests ways to shift its fleet away from heavier polluting vehicles. Wow. Heavy-duty trucks from warehouse to distribution centers can run on renewable and non-renewable natural gas. Wow. That's big. That is a big order. Reorders to me are the big deal, though. We got to see where the reorders are coming from. That's in my opinion where the money ends up. But I wonder how that's going to affect NGA, because NGA has a contract. Well, pre-order. Yeah, see, it's moving down. NGA has pre-order hopes, but I wouldn't be surprised if this new order right here ends up pushing down like an NGA or even like a. Although Hyliion works with CNG, I wonder if they're going to get a push. Barely. Up a third. Yeah. All right. We'll have to see. All right. Let's go see what interviews maybe Bloomberg TV has coming up. Bloomberg TV. Ocugen is partnered with a company from India that made a great COVID-19 vaccine, Ocugen, is going to be commercializing the vaccine for use in the US. Wow, could go to 60 plus, someone says. Fascinating. Be careful. So you can win big or lose big on pharma, I've noticed. All right, we'll wait for this ad to go through here. In the meantime, somebody here says they sold AMC shares, 40 shares at a loss, bought 50 at 6.63 to mitigate losses, hoping to break even since I own more for less. 70 shares in now, a good move. It's tough to say. It's tough to say. It's a good move if it goes up, bad move if it goes down, right? You are buying into a volatile stock, though, where media attention is going down, not up. That's the big issue. GE, General Electric falling. I feel like General Electric falling. There's nothing new about that. CTRM, Castor Maritime. I know so little about this company. Actually, I know pretty much nothing about this company. So I don't want to comment on that too much. I bought GM Leap options, and now Ford is doing similar. Do you think GM will do better? The difference between the two is the fact that GM is investing in that bottom-up approach from autonomy. We'll see if it works. Their investment into Cruise, big moves, folks, big moves. Let's listen to CNBC, or I'm sorry, Fox for a moment here.
It's easier to transmit. It tends to cause more serious symptoms, we think. And the virus still, the vaccine still prevented all of the very serious complications. No one went to the hospital who got that vaccine, but we're going to have to keep watching. And there is already work going on with Pfizer and Moderna to see if they need to modify theirs just to make sure it stays really effective as the virus continues to mutate. And it's just a reminder that the more people we can get vaccinated as quickly as possible, the less chance there is for the virus to mutate, the easier it's going to be to control this pandemic.
That's true. Very true. We got to get this virus under control. Let's listen into this for a second here. Oh, they literally just switched to audio only. Jerks. Let's see what, okay, and they just took the schedule away. No problem. No problem. We'll go look at the sticks. All right, so what's selling here? Ocugen still moving up. Microvision still moving up. Pretty, I mean, for a Friday, it's a little low activity here. And oh, wait, hold on. Let's go to all stocks. Yeah, a little low activity here in the after hours. Cannabis ETF up 4.3. Did Ocugen just get halted? Or maybe they don't have them on the watch list. That's probably what it is. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Interesting. All right. Other questions. Let's do some other questions here. MGNI, no idea. Lick doorknobs. That sounds like a horrible idea. They bought SpotX. Are going to be one of the biggest sell-side advertising for connected firms. Whew. Yeah, you know, if I were an advertiser, I feel like I'd be diving into these advertising companies more. It's so difficult as an outsider. But hey, up 26% today. Nothing but to the moon over this last year. Look at that, 400%. I mean, you know, I think your competitor here is going to be something like a Trade Desk. But this is a technology firm based in LA. Merger with Rubicon. Interesting. Yeah, 2013 photo team. So they've been around for a bit. But yeah, online advertising. I mean, it's the future. You're investing into the future here. Let's cue in here and see what we got.
Mike, thank you. Mike Santoli. Up next, former FDA Commissioner Dr. Scott Gottlieb on the risks of a post-Super Bowl coronavirus surge and the timeline for approving COVID booster shots to deal with new variants. Plus,
that I want to listen to. That's actually an interesting argument, because if we listen to that, we're going to be able to see, his opinions on how the Super Bowl could potentially affect recovery stocks, right? Restaurants, Dave & Buster's, the airlines. We'll see. AMD being flat, really weird. Can you do a video on Clover? Maybe. My next video is going to be on the Virgin Galactic merger there with 23andMe, not to be confused with Space, SPC, Virgin Galactic.
Speaks to me as a mum, I have to say. I think it speaks to every parent, but it's not the only ad that you've got running in the Super Bowl. And talk to us about how difficult it is at the moment to make ads, film ads, what an unprecedented it is as a creative.
Well, it is an onion unlike any for so many reasons. I think the actual production, obviously.
I don't know that we really care about this, so we're going to jump on back over here to the Weeble. Let's see what we got going on here. Cannabis, I mean, cannabis is almost one of those plays you just have to be in right now. I've got my cannabis-related pie at metkevin.com/Biden. Yeah, losers, Dave & Buster's, but still, Dave & Buster's, so much higher. I mean, you're almost a 3x from where we've been long time ago. Yeah, working on the M1 pies. You can update them yourselves by using the spreadsheet, but I'm not ready yet to finish my update. Love these everything shows. Really opens up new opportunities. Question: any thoughts on why Tesla's share volume traded has been so low? You get traders that come in and out of Tesla. So when you look relative to like earnings, of course you're going to get a whole lot more volatility, a whole lot more volume, generally leading to more volatility. I'm a big fan though of Tesla. But the best time to buy Tesla is when it's flat. And I think we're going to see, maybe we could see a couple months of flatness here at Tesla. Usually after earnings, you go down a little bit. We saw that happen. We bought the dip. And if you want to keep adding to Tesla in the lows, in the flatlands, that's great. Usually volume goes way up when Tesla's like going to the moon every single day. But you want to get into that beforehand. That's ideal, of course. So, okay, let's see what Fox has to say. What does the Fox say? Let's listen in. Nothing. Okay, it's an ad. Let's go to Bloomberg. Bloomberg, the Super Bowl guy, is still talking. Fox has got nothing for us in terms of Fox business. We've got, I think we're on commercial as well over at CNBC. So we might have to actually troll out. Yeah, we're going to. Let's do it. Let's troll out to the other channels. Let's see what's in the news right now. This looks like vaccine talk.
You get inflation, which we have. If you err on the other side, you get massive defaults, and then you're really at risk for a credit crisis.
Market crash.
Any more lockdowns could torpedo anything the government's doing right now, right, Brian?
Yeah, I mean, that's the risk. We've got to stay focused on what really matters here. The issue, if you look at the last jobs report, the issue is the private sector is still too closed. Pumping a bunch of government money into that system's not going to help. The savings rate has been way up in this country. People are ready to spend. The economy's ready to grow by 4% this year, but you've got to go after the right issue. Right now, this is a political move. Dr. Fauci just talked about, does politics get in the conversation? I'll tell you, politics is the entire conversation right now when it comes to 1.9 trillion. We can be smarter than that. If it wasn't the first 100 days, I think we wouldn't even be having this conversation. We'd be looking at the real issues.
All right, Brian, I want to thank you. Francis, always good.
So true. We got to pay attention to that inflation, but I love the idea of people being saving so much more right now. The velocity of money is down. People are, investing more money. It's very, very important. Okay, so then we've got, there's a question here. Let's switch away from this for a second. Here's the price of Ethereum, by the way. Just kicking butt here, especially in the last few days. But so is Bitcoin. Somebody says, should they do 80% 1337 version 19 and 20% Bitcoin? Yeah, I mean, 20% Bitcoin is a little bit high for me, but you know what? I think long run, you can't go wrong. Just be prepared to survive a lot of volatility. So my coworker is scared to get the vaccine. Yeah, to each their own on that one, huh? So why is Apple underperforming the market every day? You can't invest in Apple expecting it to trade like, some of these other crazy smaller cap companies. Apple has a massive market cap. It's such a massive company. It's a beautiful company to own, but it's not a company to trade, in my opinion. Generally, it's, it moves very, very slowly. Over time, you get your gains, but Apple is a patience game, so you got to be careful with that one. So, not really, because I don't think it's going anywhere, and it's here to stay. But you're not going to see those outsized gains at Apple as you would at some of the other companies. All right, what do we got over here?
Who voted to impeach President Trump. You're in a pretty small club there, Congressman Upton. What do you say to Republicans who say you're on the outs, you're a traitor, et cetera?
My oath is to the Constitution. I'm not afraid to criticize any president, regardless of party. I have disagreements. I supported President Trump on a number of initiatives, the tax cuts, the wall, repeal of Obamacare and trying to make it better, a whole number of different things. But, at some point you say enough is enough. And so we looked at my colleague, Ms. Green. she didn't apologize. I've been to a lot of schools. I watched you a couple years ago moderate the debate between Rubio and Ted Deutsch with some of those Parkland kids. I met with the Parkland kids, as I did when I served on the education committee back in the 90s, and we had the Columbine kids come and actually testify before us. Not a dry eye was there. To think that this was a staged event, that it was going to be used just for gun control. I've got family members that were in Vegas for that.
All right. We don't need to tune in so heavily into this, I don't think. It sounds like we've really shifted from an economic argument to more of a capital raid argument. Let's see what else we got. Okay, what are they talking about?
I wanted Donald Trump to actually speak. Instead, he's silent and spends his...
Okay, yeah, Trump's not going to speak at impeachment. We got it. Don't care about your opinion. Sorry. Closing bell. Let's go. Oh, here we go.
Decisions. There's been a lot of economic hardship, and the pandemic has hurt a slice of the population more than others. People who are small business owners who operate in the hospitality sector have been disproportionately impacted by this pandemic. I think that we're going to see continued improvement as we head towards the spring. We should see virus levels continue to come down this month. And so you can start taking more risk against that backdrop. You're going to see, infection levels take up a little bit as you do that. But I think the overall trajectory is going to be downward. Now, the difference is in parts of the country where B117, the UK variant, has become more prevalent. So when you look at Florida, in particular, southern Florida, as well as Southern California, where 5% of infections or more right now are B117, which is a more contagious variant, it's going to be harder for them to see continued declines in virus levels in those parts of the country. So I think what you're going to see is sort of a plateauing of the declines in those parts of the country. And you could see a regional effect where certain parts of the country have more persistent infection than other parts. But here in the Northeast, I think you're likely to see continued declines, a combination, again, of a lot of people starting to get vaccinated, a lot of people having been infected. And then as we head into the spring, it's going to present more of a seasonal backstop against transmission. So hopefully for most of the country, the picture is going to continue to improve.
So we know that the vaccine makers like Moderna are already working on boosters, and the FDA is coming up with a plan to get them speedy approval. Dr. Gottlieb, what's the end game here? Can you ever see a time, and when is that time where we don't need vaccines and boosters for COVID-19? Or is that just with us forever?
It might be something that we do seasonally for a long period of time. I mean, it's hard to look out what it's going to look like in 10 years, but I think certainly for the next several years, we're probably going to get seasonal boosters for this. And at least for the foreseeable future, heading into this fall, those boosters may be reformulated to reflect the new variants. Now, it may be the case, there's a lot of people suggesting that this virus isn't going to mutate itself endlessly, that there's a sort of subset of things that it could do to change its conformation, change its proteins in a way to try to evade our immunity. And once we engineer vaccines to accommodate most of those changes, maybe we'll get a more stable formulation. But I think it's still likely to become an annualized shot, because even if it confers immunity that persists past a year, I think heading into the fall and the winter season, when this coronavirus is going to want to circulate, you're going to want to make sure you have maximum immunity. So I think we may be getting boosters for quite some time. Now, in terms of the new variants, I think we have enough time to try to engineer new formulations, and all the companies, including Pfizer, the company I'm on board of, are working on that right now, new formulations that cover those new variants. And that we should be able to get to the market, if things go well, within a 4 to 6 month time frame. So we should have it in time for the fall, when those two variants that we're worried about, the South African variant and the Brazilian variant, P1 and B1351, are likely to threaten us. I don't think they're really going to be problems for the spring and the summer, but they could become problems for the fall.
Dr. Gottlieb, what's your expectation, or what is the timeline for when J&J and AstraZeneca might be approved in the US? And what do you make of some of the little extra releases from the AstraZeneca vaccine over the last week or so?
Yeah, the AstraZeneca data, as it accumulates, is looking more and more promising. And that vaccine has been put in a lot of people at this point, so you have real-world evidence. I don't know that there is a single study that FDA can hang its hat on right now. So if they do file an authorization for emergency use, it's sort of going to be an amalgamation of the different data from the different trials. The J&J trial, which read out, and they just filed their request for an EUA today, I think that should get authorized by the end of this month, or certainly by early March. They have an advisory committee meeting on February 26th. FDA should be in a position to authorize that shortly after that meeting, if the data that the FDA reviews supports what we've seen from the top line readout that the company provided, which I think it should. I mean, J&J knows how to develop vaccines. They know how to manufacture them at scale. So this is going to be an important addition to the market.
I'm trying to figure out what it's going to look like for everyone to go back to work normally, to go back to really crowded office buildings and stores and all that. You put out a roadmap a few months ago with a colleague, I think, about how to reopen safely in the middle of the pandemic. And that was followed. Dr. Birx has mentioned that when she was on the White House coronavirus task force. Are you going to do that again once we get to a certain threshold of vaccinations? And should workplaces require people to show proof of that? I mean, how does that look? How are people going to feel comfortable going back to work in any kind of normal environment?
Look, I think we're going to go back to work in the fall and the winter. I think probably 50, 60% of the public will be vaccinated by then. I think workplaces are going to have to take certain precautions. They're going to have to retrofit HVAC systems, improve air quality. I think that you will have some distancing in work insofar as they won't crowd people into conference rooms. People will be more conscious of confining people into small spaces where you can get the conditions for spread. I don't know that businesses are going to require vaccination. I think what you're more likely to see is basically two lanes to work. People who get vaccinated and can provide proof of vaccination don't have to take certain measures. Maybe people who don't, who opt out of getting vaccinated, have to do a daily symptom check, have to undergo routine screening. There might be other measures in place. I think you're likely to see that also in public venues. And you can envision two lines into Disneyland, one line for people who can provide proof of vaccination and another where people have to undergo some secondary screening for fevers and symptom scans to get into the park. So I think that's what we're likely to see. I don't know that we're likely to see vaccine mandates because I think there's going to be uneasiness about putting those in places. But I do think businesses may impose certain conditions on people who don't get vaccinated to make sure they're not bringing a virus into the workplace.
Yeah, maybe antigen tests, as the Becton Dickinson CEO told us as well. Dr. Gottlieb, thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, very interesting. I mean, I think it's fascinating that Dr. Gottlieb here is even suggesting that it's possible, yeah, we'll do boosters, but we might actually see the need to keep getting boosters go away over time. That maybe in the future we'll just, we'll have our herd immunity essentially, and that this is just going to die out because there's only so much it could do to evade our immunity. But it actually sounds like he's very bullish on this recovery, which he used to be very, very upset. He used to be very negative that everything's going downhill. Things are going to get really bad unless we lock down more. Then he transitioned into, okay, we need to have, more masks, more social distancing. He's always been really like, we got to do more, like this is bad, right? He's a lot more optimistic right now than he has been in the past. That's very, very, very good to see. It also makes you wonder, though, hey, what's the impact of that going to be longer term? I should say, it also makes you wonder, is he going to be right? Is he just trying to pump up the Pfizer stock because he's on the board of it? We'll see. I mean, that's the jaded outlook, right? It's easy to be jaded, though. So, okay, let's go ahead and see. I want to listen into this really quick. U.S. jobs report bolsters stimulus bets. Let's listen to this for a second here.
To some of these industry employment data today. And, one thing that I think kind of got lost in the shuffle is that before those revisions, it looked like that transportation and warehousing that you were talking about had basically made up all of the job losses that had happened there since February. The revision showed that there's actually still a bit of a hole there as well to fill now. And so, again, it just kind of speaks to this broader theme.
All right, Matt Bozer, great to have you here. Bloomberg reporter here breaking down the jobs numbers for us. Some breaking news here. This on all of that speculation surrounding the Apple car. According to people familiar with the situation, Apple did hold talks recently with Hyundai and Kia Motors about building an electric vehicle, though those discussions have been paused. The person familiar with the matter saying that Apple is discussing similar plans with other automakers, though there is no real timetable or other details about when any of this may materialize. All right, we'll be back in a moment from New York and London. This is Bloomberg.
Wow. The whole Apple car thing, I think Apple is honestly scrambling. I think they are scrambling because they realize they are way, 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 way behind. Like, seriously far behind. Okay, hold on. I got to do a quick money update for my course members really quick, and I want to keep talking here. Okay. There we go. All right, let's keep going on what's going on with our sticks. Let's take a quick look at This sticks here, and then we'll also go back to Fox and CNBC. Let's jump in over here. So what do we got? We've got what's happening in the after hours here. We've got, look at this, 27% at Ocugen. Really, really pushing here. We've got Sundial Growers. Sundial's been one that I feel like has gotten a little hate in the last couple of days here. Oh, we're having this Yellen discussion coming up. Hold on 1 second.
The next one. That includes many Black-owned businesses. Harris and Yellen say support will also expand to include outreach and technical assistance. Through next year, Microsoft is suspending donations to all lawmakers who voted to object to the certification of Joe Biden's election as president. The company is also halting donations to state officials and organizations that called for the election results to be overturned. 2 of the 3 impeachment petitions against Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear have been thrown out. One more, calling for his removal over pandemic restrictions, is still being considered. In Afghanistan, Taliban leaders are telling NBC News they are returning to frontline duty as the Biden administration reviews an agreement to pull U.S. troops from the country by May. You are up to date. That's the news update this hour. Sarah, back to you.
Sue, thank you. Up next, bridging the diversity gap, Deborah Martin Chase, the first African-American female producer to have a deal with a major Hollywood.
You know, what I think is interesting is Yellen had this discussion yesterday, and I thought we were going to hear a lot more about her discussion on GameStop, and we really, I feel like we didn't get much. You know, we were thinking that we were going to get like this breaking news coming out, and we didn't get a lot of that. It was really interesting. So somebody here, Tanrup says, my Robinhood restricted me from buying because of reverse payment, but my second payment went through. Any thoughts on how long it'll take for me to buy? You know, if you get a payment reversal, sometimes it could take 10 days for your next payment to clear. This is not specifically with Robinhood. This is just broadly speaking in the financial markets. Not very uncommon there to see that. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? So Ocugen continuing to soar here. Microvision, I still don't know why this one's going up the way it is, but fascinating. Shift Technology moving up a tiny little bit in the after hours. Let's jump to the actual sticks here. Yeah, not a lot of movement though in the after hours broadly. Oh, here's a little bit of red. What's this? Oh, Yelp. Did Yelp report today? Yelp has been so beat up for so long, and I think they really screwed a lot of their businesses. They do this thing with filtering reviews, and you could have like legit customers leave a review for your business, and then they filter it out because the person who reviewed you is not active enough on Yelp. Pissed off a lot of people. I don't know a lot of businesses that really love Yelp, unless you're winning on Yelp. You know, if you're winning on Yelp, you love it. If you get the reviews, then you love Yelp. It's tough for a lot of people starting up though. Like if you're a restaurant, you got 5 stars on Yelp, money. Yelp used to have like a #1 position in a lot of different places on the App Store. Why is this frozen? Keep playing. There we go. Used to have, sorry, not on the App Store, on the, well, let's listen to this for a second. I do want to finish that thought on, but let's listen to this. Was there any? Wait, oh, I can't hear it. Here we go.
A lot of premium to be paid for automotive tech in any ways. I mean, every car company is red hot right now. To what degree does essentially signals from investors sort of catalyze more investments, whether it's from the traditional tech companies or the sort of legacy auto companies that want to speed up their efforts in the space?
Yeah, I think you and I discussed it. There's 2 big undercurrents here. You kind of see it reflected in what we're seeing with SPAC deals centered in the EV space as well, right? That you have policy support, not just in the US from Biden, but in the UK under Biden, but in the UK under Boris Johnson's government as well. You know, if you think about this, the consumer, the car is the sort of most significant purchase you make in your lifetime after a house. You know, and at some point with all of the 2030 targets to phase out combustion engine cars, there will be this big wave of transformation to kind of get in on the EV conversion. The point is, you know, for the companies is which one do you deploy capital on and when do you get in at the right time? The core of it is that it is capital intensive, and you see investors very willing right now to put money into that process, even if companies are pre-revenue or they don't even have a substantial prototype to show for it.
No way, Norway clearly the right time to be focusing in on electric vehicles when you're over at the Super Bowl. So GM's in on it, Apple's in on it. But how are you keeping abreast of just how quickly this is going to come online and what it will add to Apple's overall sort of margin? Because a BI analyst after BI analyst has said from a profitability point of view, this isn't going to be particularly great for Apple.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
you
so
just have to
behind.
go on precedent, right? And you look at Tesla, and Tesla has proved one thing, that mass producing electric vehicles profitably, if you strip out the tax credits that they get, is very difficult. Apple, in its day-to-day business with the iPhone as well with the MacBook, they target the high end of the market, the luxury buyer, targeting not just the luxury buyer in the US, but in China.
This guy, by the way, he's the guy who broke the news on CCIV.
Market is that the car would reflect that too. It would be a luxury product, a higher end product. What it means for Apple's bottom line, I don't know. You know, Bloomberg's reporting is pretty clear that this vehicle, in whichever direction Apple takes it, is some way from fruition. But I think the anticipation is that it will be a high-tech product capable in terms of self-driving and therefore would come with a significant price tag.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it's Apple, it's going to come with a significant price tag, and maybe they'll finally do something about iTunes. I am curious, though, with regards to the strategy here, because this isn't a company that really does just put out a product just to put out a product. There is a massive sort of profit incentive that they've built into their business model, and it's hard to really see that with a car, particularly if they're building it. Now, if they're just building, say, software and other components that maybe go into some other car, that I could sort of understand. But is there a sense here that Tim Cook really wants to go down this road of being an auto manufacturer, or they just want to sort of be in this race to the EVs in some form or another?
So behind.
Well, based on the reporting, you know, today's story and past reporting by Bloomberg, the latter, right, that they would outsource manufacturing to a partner rather than take on the manufacturing themselves, mirroring what they do with the iPhone. It's also a question of competency. You know, I talk to a lot of investors, a lot of market participants, and the theme of the last year and into this year is partnerships. You see it with the OEMs, the automakers. When it comes to things like self-driving, they make investments in specialists, AV startups or LiDAR experts. You know, Apple has a small team of engineers working on drivetrain, a small team of engineers working on sensor suites and things like that. But I think the expectation broadly is that you outsource those capabilities to the companies and teams that know it best. But on the manufacturing side, that is the key issue. That is why the auto industry is paying attention, because it's no simple thing just to set up a car factory and start pumping out EVs.
All right. Our thanks to Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow with the scoop on Apple. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, coming up, we turn to Washington. Republican Senator Mitt Romney proposing one of the largest child benefit packages ever. And we speak with an external advisor for the proposal, Samuel Hammond of the Niskanen Center. That's next. This is Bloomberg.
All right. Sorry. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. So let's go back. Let's go back here to our charts here. Oh, I wanted to finish my thoughts on Yelp. Okay, so here's the thing. If you're winning on Yelp, you'll love it. But the problem is for new businesses to get started on Yelp, they feel like they get like their arm twisted to advertise with Yelp. And because of that, they've lost a lot of reputation with Yelp businesses. And Yelp used to rank really highly on the search results. And now let's try it, okay? Let's try Pizza New York City. Let's see. They used to be really good. Let's see if they still are. Okay, see, Google is now putting their crap on top. Kind of potential antitrust implications there, right? But look what you got. Pizza New York City. You got Google. I don't know what Eater is. My Infatuation. Is that Fatuation? Yeah, I guess that is Fatuation. My Infatuation. Kevin. The Thrillist, Timeout, Street New York City. Look at that. Yelp is nowhere to be found. That is crazy. Okay, let's do Realtor in New York City, because they used to rank up there for realtors too. Realtor.com. No. Yelp is nowhere to be found anymore. Let me try this. Realtor, Ventura, California. Let's see here. Realtor.com. Man, Yelp always used to be like 1 or 2. There it is. There's Yelp. Okay. Wow. Hey, look what it says right there. That's funny. Yeah, that's interesting. No, they've really fallen in the search ranks though. Let's try another one. Let's do restaurants, Los Angeles. Again, Google, Eater, Open Table, TripAdvisor, my infatuation, Timeout. Dude, Yelp is sucking. Oh, man, I used to love Yelp. I think I started on Yelp way back when they first launched their app. It was one of the first apps on the Apple App Store. Ah, great. The no pressure agent. That's trademarked. You owe me money now. Mario, send me a check. I'm just kidding. As a business owner, I like Google much more than Yelp. It's yeah. That's pretty consistently what I'm hearing. Yelp is part of the Yahoo search engine, not Google search. Never used Yelp. Yelp needs help. The Yahoo search engine thing could be a partnership because Yelp used to rank highly on Google. Restaurants in Chicago. Let's try that. Look at that. They integrated Yelp. Smart. But come on, like 90% of people use Google, right? So I don't know. I mean, they've recovered from their downs, but it's just depressing. Let's see what kind of GameStop related news we've got here on the Bloomberg terminal. Let's go in here. Let's do GME news. Let's get a little bit of GME. Let's see what we can get. GME. Let's get company news, individual company news. Maybe we'll do some top stories here too. So in terms of GameStop, worst week ever with $18.2 billion hole. Ouch. Short or not short? That's interesting. Let's see what they say here. Short or not short? Let's see what Motley Fool has to say about GameStop. I know that's always such a big question right now, so we'll see. Yes. Somebody here actually in the course says if Yelp worked, they would have a pay per lead model. Instead, they have a pay per view model, like when your ad shows. Very true. Right on, Neo. Under 75 for pins. Okay, let's see what this says here. So this says for GameStop, the media over gaming vendor GameStop is fading fast. I know, it's a problem. In case you're just tuning in an oversimplified nutshell, we don't care. So we want to know if it's short. GameStop share price, okay, we know what happened. We don't need to rub it in. We need to know what the shorts. Here we go. Shorts are digging in. Are they not going to give us any stats? Come on, Motley Fool. You can do better than this. Gamma Suite. They just gave us a recap. They didn't give us any stats at all. What is this, Motley Fool? Pissing me off. GME is not done, we hear. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully not. I want GameStop to win here. Let's look at the sticks again here. Pulling the sticks. After hours moves, we've got on the watch list. Wait, where's Ocugen? Was that under recently viewed? Oh, yeah, look at Ocugen move. Look at that push. Oh, my gosh. We've got up 41% now. That's crazy. I feel like just in the last 10 minutes that we've been talking about it here, this has gone up insanely. Wow. Congratulations. Wow, it's gone up at least a $1.50 here. This is an incredible run. Let's look at the news in the Bloomberg terminal about this. I mean, we should look into this a little bit. Ocugen, I always get nervous with the pharma, but a lot of people get excited about it. Makes sense because you make money fast on these sometimes. Let's see. Hyundai for the future or the partnership. I would not speculate on buying Hyundai because of Apple. I'd rather buy Apple in that case. Who knows? Apple would be smart to partner with Lucid. Oh, that would be so cool. Oh my God, it'd be a match made in heaven. That'd be so cool. Oh, all the money Apple has and how far Lucid is with their technology. Be so nice. All right, so what do we got? What is this? Let's see if we can we get a primer on this? Sometimes we could get primers on these. No, of course not. Jerks. It's the ones I want primers on I can't get. So what is this? Security description. Operates as a clinical stage biopharm company. Company offers products for improving the body's ability to regenerate healthy cartilage, joint function, and prevention of degenerative disease. But apparently they're also working on a vaccine, I guess. And I think they're jumping on vaccine news, which I don't love playing the vaccine news. But it looks very juicy right now. So, okay, what else do we have here? Yahoo Finance. Okay, let's see what Yahoo has to say. Okay. So it's official. A new COVID vaccine candidate has entered the fray. Yeah, that's the excitement. It's over the COVID vaccine. On Tuesday, Ocugen announced, finalized its deal with India-based Bharat Biotech. The two will work together on Covaxin for the U.S. market. Ocugen will take on all aspects of U.S.-based responsibility, including development and so on and so forth. They're going to split revenue. Great. I think that's the only reason it's running here, huh? I still don't know the profitability of these vaccines, though. And what kind of vaccine is this? Does somebody know? Is this an mRNA vaccine, or is this more of a traditional vaccine? That's a big question for me. Like, if I were going to invest in vaccines, I'd invest in the mRNAs. So we could figure that out by just typing mRNA and with it, I would imagine. Maybe. Okay, I have to log in to view your article. Y'all suck. Fool, should you invest in Ocugen right now? Well, yeah, look at this. If you're lucky, this was from December 31st. Oh, man. Let's see. Reasons to buy Ocugen. Okay, let's see here. Earlier this month, okay, let's see. Ocugen signed a letter of intent to develop the COVID vaccine candidate. So it's basically surging right now on really good news that it's pretty much ready for delivery or development, at least. Reasons to sell. So they covered both here. Reasons to sell, reasons to buy. So did they make they called it not worth the risk. Oh, wow. So they did not recommend it. Was it an mRNA, though? Messenger. Why did it index for that, but not say it? So annoying. Oh, it indexed for Moderna, and that doesn't cover it. Does somebody know? Somebody please tell me the answer. Do you think Moderna's price will drop after the vaccine hype drops off? Yes. I think once we get all the day traders out of the vaccine hype and COVID's over, yeah, I think there's going to be a longer term sell-off in these. And there's going to be a good opportunity to buy these mRNA vaccine manufacturers, not just vaccine manufacturers, but the other things they do, the therapeutics, in like 2022, 23. That's my theory. You know, they could be way higher then. That's always a downside risk. But I'd rather put my money into other things right now. So I can't figure out if this is an mRNA. I think it is. Join the next generation mRNA vaccine. Oh, thank you. New York Times. Here we go. Thank you for this in the stocks public. Appreciate you. Let's open this up and airdrop it over. Ooh. The New York Times did a nice piece on them. Okay. I know a lot of people don't like the New York Times because they definitely lean left. They have good research. Like them or not, like left or right, they have very good research. Oh, come on. The problem is I have like 5 different New York Times accounts and I never know which one to log in with. It's so annoying. I think I have to hold on. Let me figure this out really quick. I want to see this article because this stock is flying right now. Need another way to authenticate? Text me a login code. Passwords, man. Passwords suck. Okay, did I get it? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, let's see if I can get in now. So if I can get in, we can actually read the article. Here we go. There we go. Okay, how Bharat Biotech's vaccine works from January 4th, so about a month ago. Okay, so this is teaching the immune system to make antibodies. The antibodies attach to proteins. This sounds like a very similar attack method. Once researchers produce large stocks of the coronavirus, they douse them with a chemical. The compound, okay, look, I'm not going to read this like a scientist here. I just want to know, is this an mRNA? Messenger. I don't see it. It looks like it's a different style. Because the coronaviruses in the Covaxin are dead. Oh, so they're actually using dead COVID particles. So it's more of a traditional vaccine. Interesting. Oh, so, okay, there's some chemical that they douse it with that disables their ability to replicate. But their proteins and spikes remain intact. That's crazy. That's just, it's an inactivated virus. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So it's an old school vaccine. Yes. Inactivated genes. Okay, yes. Aha, so it's not the cutting edge like mRNA stuff, which means, because I'm pretty sure the Johnson vaccine was an inactivated vaccine. Somebody please fact check me on that. But it seems like the mRNA vaccines, they're the ones that are like 90-95% effective. Like those are the next gen vaccines, right? This seems like maybe it works, but I don't know that I would plow money into this. Hey, but then again, if you plowed money into this anytime really before today, like I can't say you did anything wrong because it's up 36% right now, right? So yeah, it is on the move. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what else we've got going on here. Let's see, who's this? Let me listen to this for a second.
So interesting.
No, we don't care about shrimpers. I mean, I don't want to offend shrimpers, but this is a GameStop and stock topic. So no offense. I don't know that I can invest in shrimp. Maybe I can.
Investors are treating this as we don't necessarily need a tremendous amount of help, but boy, it'll be a great little boost once it comes. And that includes really for what the Fed's doing right now. So I'm not saying that's correct, but that's mostly the investor posture right now, is if things are already going right, and that would only be kind of an afterburner.
Mike, it's been kind of one-way traffic for equities, for commodities like oil and for the yields this week. But the dollar and gold just showing a little bit of a turnaround as we closed out the week today.
Just today, exactly, at the very end. We'll see if that builds into anything, but gold's been quite weak right along with bonds.
We are out of time here on Closing Bell. Have a wonderful weekend. Right. Fast Money starts right now.
Fast Money's fun. It's always sad when the weekend comes because we can't do stocks anymore. You know, but let's see what they're going to talk about today. Topics. Otherwise, we might jump to Bloomberg
Street. So, what should be your next move? The stocks at all-time highs. We're trading the rally straight ahead. Plus, we're gearing up for another mega week of earnings. We're breaking down the 4 names that need to be on your watch list. And later, our chart of the week. This stock adding $172 billion to its market cap since
not GameStop.
Name and how to trade it straight ahead. But we start off with the road to records. S&P, NASDAQ, Russell 2000 driving to their highest levels ever. But there is something big brewing in the bond market that could cause investors to yield. Let's get to Cornerstone Macro's Carter Braxton Worth with more. Carter.
Well, surely an exciting week for equities, of course.
Give me a market crash title, please.
Continued bump up is equally important and exciting. What we do know, of course, is that today was the highest close since the pandemic low, 1.165, and we reached 1.186, getting awfully close to that 1.225. 3 simple charts. The first, this is a 3-4 year chart, and it's just the exercise of examining.
Basically, he's talking about bond yields going up. Got it. Okay, let's get to some bottom lines, broski.
Wipe out. If you don't go out of business, so to speak, and yields can't go out of business, you base and bottom, as measured by your moving average. You can see there the smoothing mechanism, the 150-day moving average is flattening and is rising. Second chart, it's the exact same chart, but it's just using a trend line instead. And if you think about it, all that a moving average is an automated trend line. The point at which the 150-day turns is the point here on the second chart where you break above the downtrend. And so let's zero in on the last chart, the goings on since the low. Now, what this tries to highlight is you see that sort of epic intraday low, that's 32 basis points. That's March 9th. That was a Monday. And then within moments, 6, 8, 10 sessions, we were already back to 1.28. And you can see those 2 parallel lines. Those are the levels that matter. Now, the uptrending line, the ascending line since the low is the path we've been on. It's very orderly, it's steady, and it's sequential. And the sequence calls for more of the same. It would call for about 1.28. And so if you just, last thing, look at
dude, I can't handle it anymore. I'm sorry. I was looking for a bottom line. I appreciate the guy, but no. Okay, I got it. Bond yield's going up. Okay, time for investors to yield. I think it's a play on words because the yield is going up. I get it. What's Lou got to say? Let's see if he's got anything for us. Oh, no. We're not going into this drama. I would rather talk to the sticks than this drama. Okay. All right. So, jeez, man. Okay. All right. What do we got? After hours. Ocugen, a little bit of a sell-off here, huh? Yeah. Okay. Coming off those highs a little bit here. I hope we didn't do that. But yeah, no, I'm glad we looked into that. GME, let's look. Let's go. Boom. I see the calls. It's up 1.7. Okay. What's this bounce we had here? Look at that, like 15 minutes after the close. No, this was further after the close. Sorry, the close was about 40 minutes after the close. So about 20 minutes ago, we had a bounce here. Yeah, look at that. Another push up. But then you see that profit taking right afterwards almost every time. Really frustrating. When does Apple pay dividends? Oh, gosh, usually quarterly, right? You could look up a dividends calendar, though. Like you could go to Yahoo Finance, which I've got a premium account at. Hold on, let me get off a private browser here. And let me see if I can get into that. We'll look at your calendar. Let's see. I do want to look up Bloomberg also to quickly see. Oh, yeah, we're logged in. Okay. Yahoo Finance, Apple. Let's pull up Bloomberg here to see if they can talk to us, if they've got anything interesting going on. Unpacking meme stock mania?
By Tiger King star Carol Baskin and really helped drive a rally in that stock. So it's pretty remarkable.
So how does Carol Baskin become, someone that the retail crowd listens to? What's actually going on inside these chat rooms?
Right. I think that story really underscores the fact that sometimes when these retail investors latch onto these narratives on Reddit boards and in chat rooms, it sort of just fuels this momentum. And in this case, we saw Carol Baskin be a big star in 2020, really catch some eyeballs with just her name, and mentioning, this tiny little company in one of her videos just really spurred interest in it. So it's a fascinating dynamic in how these Reddit traders all kind of band together and drive up share prices.
Meantime, I'm sure you've got professional investors and hedge funds trying to figure out where this wave is going. Talk to us about the biotech rally that seems to be next and what's happening there.
Yeah, it's interesting to see sort of how professional investors kind of, grab onto this momentum, or also are trying to grapple with what is going on with these stocks. And we have seen a lot of biotech companies do really well. I mean, that's, some of them are really key to some of the coronavirus developments. And it's interesting to watch these professional investors sort of follow retail investors sometimes, and then vice versa, obviously. So it's continuing to sort of play out.
So what are you watching next week, Claire? What should be on our radar?
I'm still really interested to see how this plays out. I mean, there's definitely been an unwinding of some of these retail favorite stocks. But, like we had talked about, a lot of them are up a ton. And, Reddit chat rooms, those aren't going away anytime soon. So I think a question on my team and just in our conversations is what's going to be the next GameStop, the next AMC? Are we going to see these big pops again from these retail traders?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you'll have to keep us posted. Bloomberg's Claire Ballantyne, thanks so much for that update.
Yeah, so there's a question here. Don't you think the GME situation is getting a bit cringy? Also dangerous for people who got in late. Why are you pushing these volatile stocks? I don't think I've one time told somebody to buy GME. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've been guiding people to take some profits when they have some profits. So I do want to clarify that. When I suggest risky stocks, I make it very, very clear that the stocks are risky. For me, for example, like Etsy, Peloton, Wayfair, Pinterest, these are not risky stocks. These are great stocks. But something like CCIV, that's riskier. Is CCIV as risky as GameStop? Probably actually not. CCIV, it's a SPAC. The merger might not happen. It's over at like that 8 out of a 10 range on risk factor. CCIV, let's take a look at what CCIV is doing in after hours. Let's see here. CCIV is at, let's see here, up a little bit again in after hours. So it's actually holding stable. Okay. Let's see. Hold on one sec here. Okay, continuing on. So let's see here. Let's take a look. Sometimes these congressional interviews can be interesting. Let's pull this for a sec.
Going now. We've had the Congresswoman herself saying that she doesn't believe everything she believed before she arrived in Washington. They want to keep her from ever being on a committee, if possible. The Democrats in Congress, some of the House Republicans do as well. Where does this go from here?
Well, first of all, David, good to be with you. And I will tell you that the underlying thing here is the Democrats were trying to erase some of President Trump's legacy. And part of what they're doing is saying we're going to take out a strong conservative female voice in Marjorie Greene. And that's what she is.
No.
And
okay. We don't stick to the business stuff. I thought maybe they'd talk like stimulus or the market or something. No, they're still stuck on this committee stuff.
Think an economy that's going to be booming. And you just wonder at what point does it get too hot? And, down the road somewhere, there will be a taper tantrum. It'll be ugly for sure. I don't know when it'll happen. Probably not this year, but that does seem to be the end game at some point. But for now, it's all good.
And I guess that's what we've been saying for months and months and months and months at this point. I mean, I guess the ultimate concern, James, is things pick up so quickly, if too quickly almost. The inflationary pressures really heat up because then that bounces the ball back into Jerome Powell's court.
Yeah, and there's just been a ton of bullish energy in this market like we've never seen in history. I have been absolutely blown away by the energy behind small caps over the last 3 months, up over 30% over the period. You look at the NASDAQ Bank Index, up 46% in this 90-day period. Ton of energy. That momentum has taken us through. We had a little bit of a pullback last week, following through to the upside today, breaking out at new all-time highs. I think we saw a microcosm of the energy that's behind the retail buying frenzy on the Reddit and the GameStop story, but that same story is trickling into the overall markets. And so the boom is there in stocks, and frankly, Main Street and Wall Street have never been more disconnected.
Anything looking too hot in your view, Grasso, in terms of stocks, either individual stocks or sectors?
I think the stock market has looked too hot to me, and technology stocks have looked too hot to me, and the Zooms and the Pelotons and all the work from home stocks, because we have to get to the end of that technology line as far as the bullishness and the work from home stocks. But I am glad that I fought my gut to sell the market, because I could have sold this S&P at 3,000. So when you say, does it look too hot? As long as the Fed's in your corner, as long as there's stimulus, I think the market can go high.
Fed's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's so important to remember that. It's crazy.
% this week. We're breaking down the monster move. But first, get ready for another huge week of earnings. Just look at all the names reporting. So you know what that means. A game of trade it or fade is on deck when Fast Money.
Uber, Lyft, Twitter, Disney's coming up. Oh, wow. Twitter's going to be really reliant on their user growth, especially with the fact that, what's his name? Donald Trump is banned from it. A lot of people deleted their Twitter for this. And last quarter, they had a big issue because their user growth came in horribly before Donald Trump got banned. They had big issues. So, yikes. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see what happens. Cheeks. All right, let's go ahead and jump on. Where do we want to jump now? So they're busy. Let's go see what Bloomberg's talking about. Bloomberg's has some good stuff going on. Let's see what this is.
That order to 6 different companies that they work with who are really their customers. That's who pays them revenue. The largest being Citadel, but Virtu, there's several, and all that's disclosed. You can find it on Twitter, on the internet. And those people are even, in addition to kind of maybe, choosing the bid ask they want to fill it at, they're allowed to front run the trade in their own account. And I think it's misleading to the user to say something's free when you're probably those companies aren't paying for that order flow for no reason, right? Why you have to ask, why are they paying for it? Well, they're monetizing it. And that has to do with giving you bad execution or front running your trade. which has the market moving away from you. And you imagine you get a whole bunch of people buying out of the money call options, and then you get the broker that's clearing those trades front running them, and you're going to create massive volatility like we saw.
So in that case, what should Robinhood do differently, or what should the SEC be doing about this?
Well, there are many arguments as to why you should ban payment for order flow and have people directly connected.
Are we still here, or did we have a freeze? Let's see here.
Directly connected.
Are we still here, or no? It looks like we're still here. Okay, we're good, right? Like thumbs up on that. We can keep going. Let me know. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Let's play this.
Where you'd have more liquidity in the right place anyway. I was able to find a letter that Citadel, ironically, had sent to the SEC in 2004, where they did as good a job as any. They listed 5 detailed bullet points on the conflict of interest that come up and why payment for order flow should be banned. And I would, encourage people to read that. The UK government also did a whole bunch of studies before they banned it in 2012, and they've studied it since and think they're in a way better place. So that's one. The second thing nobody's talking about, and there's really 3 things, but the second thing nobody's talking about is there are 3 different dimensions where Robinhood takes more risk than their competitors. 1 is use of margin. 2 is encouragement of option activity. So the option trades relative to normal trades much higher there. And then 3, they let you trade before cash settles in your account. They kind of forward you money. All 3 of those things directly affect the variables that go into the capital requirement commitment that they were forced to.
He's got good insight.
But nowhere along the way did they say, oh, well, here's the calculation for that requirement, and here's why these actions that we take as a business are directly implicated there. And meanwhile, those same things attract customers. So they have that problem in that they made themselves more interesting to people for those reasons, but it means more risk. And that's why the clearinghouse came down upon them. The third thing I was going to mention, we can wrap this up, but it's now known that 64% of their revenue comes from options trading. And so the company wants you to believe and goes on public television and claims that their mission is to democratize investing. And I would say, if this is mostly options trading, that's there's no book from Warren Buffett or Peter Lynch or any Burton McHale, who's a famous that says, hey, the way to invest for the long term is to trade options. No one's saying that. They would all dispute that. And so what Robinhood's really doing, I think, is kind of glorifying speculation. They're not democratizing investing.
So do you see a fundamental shift happening in market power from institutions to individuals? And if so, how should the strategy of professional investors be changing now that there are new rules? You always say play the game that's on the field, and it seems like the rules have changed.
Well, some of it will depend. I think that the new SEC commissioner is paying attention, and Congress is paying attention. So we'll see, whether things change that might eliminate some of the plumbing issues that might cause a future attempt like this to not work as well. They may also come up with regulation around not voicing that you like a stock or don't like a stock, but if you are intentionally giving instructions to people on how to manipulate liquidity in a stock, they may come down on that. And then the third thing that no one's asking is how much staying power does the Robinhood base really have? You just mentioned on the open $18 billion of market caps gone. The hedge funds were cleared out by the time that happened. So who was left holding that bag? And how burned are they? So the next push may not have as many soldiers left if there's lots of broken soldiers everywhere.
Whoa.
A lot of people lost a lot of money. I do want to get to, you've been a longtime proponent of direct listings, and we've seen a number of high-profile IPOs over the last couple of months. Airbnb, DoorDash, Affirm, Poshmark doubling or more than doubling on opening day. You know, I spoke to the CEOs of all of those companies on opening day. They're excited. Nobody said we got the price wrong. But what do you think? Do you see something wrong with that picture?
Oh, absolutely. I think all those companies could theoretically be held accountable for violating fiduciary duty. Selling the most valuable asset you own at half the market price, knowingly doing that, is just, it's ignorance. I don't think you will ever ask someone on the day of their IPO, did you just make a massive mistake, and have them say yes. So the reason I smiled when you brought that up, there's zero chance that's going to happen. So I'd probably
Is it the company though, or is it the bankers?
Well, the problem is, and I have some data right here, like under first day underpricing in 2016, 2 billion, 17, 4 billion, 18, 7 billion, 19, 9 billion. Last year, problems getting ginormously worse. And then yesterday, on the Hong Kong exchange, Kuaishou, $5 billion deal, $9 billion underpricing on one deal. Look, the modern day best practice that the banks advise is they tell you want to be 30x oversubscribed. Now, I think we could go back 400 years and find economists that would tell you how supply and demand affect price. And no one in 400 years of economics would suggest that the best practice would be to have a 30x supply-demand imbalance. Yet, every CEO, every CFO, every board member that talks to a bank in the 2 weeks going into their IPO, they're told that's what they're supposed to do. And they listen to that and say, oh, okay, that's great. It's plain stupidity. The great news is Commissioner Clayton, on his way out the door, approved, and just amazing for me, at least, approved adding capital to a direct listing. And I fundamentally believe that, 5-10 years from now, no one will adhere to this idiotic practice of giving away billions of dollars in a single day.
Wow. You never mince words, Bill, and that's why we love having you here. I do want to get to Amazon because you were the lead analyst on Amazon going back to the 90s. You posted a nostalgic tweet of a photo of you and Jeff Bezos from back in the day. Andy Jassy is incredibly well respected, but I wonder what risks do you think Amazon faces without Jeff Bezos at the helm? And is he really going to be able to hand over the reins and lean back, or is he going to be the backseat driver?
Yeah, I mean, I'll raise a provocative question that you might ask, an Amazon executive, but it is my belief that Jeff, clearly the best strategic thinker I've ever met around business strategy, but he has another superpower, which is he's able to take those ideas and systematize them. He's able to implement them in a company that now has over 1 million employees, and those practices are able to scale. And that's been what he's amazing at, right? Like, it's not just that he has the idea for AWS, it's that he can scale it so much. And so I think the optimist would say, he
just gonna pause really quick. So he's happy about Jeff Bezos, but I want to talk more about Robinhood. I see the question. I saw the Matterport question. Yes, bullish. I saw the question here on Westport. I gotta wait for this is way better than pre-orders with like an NGA, right? So this is good, but I want to see reorders. Yeah, so probably too early for me to jump in on Westport, especially since a lot of this upside has just happened. Will it happen again? Who knows? Let's go back to this person. I want to talk about what he said about Robinhood, but let me just see what he's talking about right now.
It looks
oh, wrong one. Hold on. No, they're still talking about Amazon. Okay, so what he just said about Robinhood? Holy crap. He says Robinhood is riskier because they incentivize people to do margin, option activity, and trading before your money actually settles. That leads Robinhood to take more risk. 64% of their money comes from options trading. They glorify speculating, was the thing that he said. That's crazy. And he basically thinks because of these big losses at GameStop, maybe the Robinhood crowd is just a lot poorer. Let's keep listening to this guy. This guy's got some good perspective.
Staying long.
Talk about re-rating. At least 15.
Wrong one.
And the rules are written by the incumbents and make it very hard for new entrants to come up behind.
Oh, and I got tendies.
The more regulation, actually, the more you want to own the stock.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'm glad I let you say your point. Benchmark Capital's Bill Gurley, always good to have you here. Bill, thanks so much for stopping by. Coming up, we'll have more of Bloomberg Technology. This is Bloomberg.
We got to follow this guy. Let's follow this guy. This guy's brilliant. What's his name? Gurley something, right? Gurley hedge fund dude. Bill Gurley. Bill Gurley Twitter. All right. That looks like him. Oh, he's got lots of followers. Wow. Cool. Good for him. I mean, that was a brilliant analysis. I mean, really, I really enjoyed that. So good for him. Good for him. All right. Let's jump to this for a sec.
YouTube ad revenue was up 23%. This is one that has been underrated literally by the Wall Street community, and it can move much higher from here.
I think you guys are all in full agreement on this one, right, James?
I am in full agreement. Full disclosure, my baby brother is a global head at Google. They know all about all people, and this company has so many pockets of value that they haven't even unleashed yet. A ton of upside here at a 37 PE. Agree with Bonawyn, agree with Karen, agree with the whole gang. Google's got a lot of room to run, and they can control their destiny. And so this is a business to continue to own even at these levels.
Yeah. Karen, was there anything about the report that sort of begged questions for you in your mind, whether it be use of cash or whatnot?
I mean, I really wish that it's almost like the cash is dragging the balance sheet. I really wish they would be a lot more aggressive, but we've been saying that for a while, and they've slowly come around and they're doing buybacks, but they could do a lot more than that. I understand not wanting to be a dividend payer. That's fine. But I would be much more aggressive because they continue to build cash even on top of that hoard. By the way, I did notice they have debt of 2060, 2.25% of 2060. That's some good, nice, cheap financing if they ever need it.
Yep. Time for the final trade for this Friday show. And
all right, bullish on Google. I agree being bullish on Google. Hey, folks, why not? Why not? Let's try it. If you could go to my Twitter at RealMeetKevin, go to tweets and replies. Look what I did. I just tweeted that guy. One of y'all suggested it, and I think it's a great idea. I just tweeted Bill Gurley. I mean, he just grilled Robinhood, right? How cool would it be if we could get him on an interview? Do me a favor, retweet this if you can. I just interviewed the CEO of Robinhood. I also just saw your Bloomberg take. Would you be open to speaking to my YouTube audience live and briefly? 1.28 million subscribers in the finance niche, heavily focusing on the GME Robinhood situation. This wowould be cool. So if I could lean on you, go retweet this. Go to @RealMeetKevin on Twitter. Make sure you click the little tweets and replies thing. It only shows if I tweet too much, it doesn't put them all on the homepage. But anyway, yeah, this would be so cool if we could have him on, because let's ask him some real questions. And he seems like the kind of guy that's willing to talk a lot, which is awesome. Really, really cool. So @RealMeetKevin on Twitter. Okay. They are, I believe, on commercial. CNBC is on commercial. Let's see if Lou's got anything he's talking about. Your whole world. No, he's on commercial too. Gosh, they all go in commercial at the same time. Drives me nuts. All right, let's look at the sticks. Let's look at the sticks. And then I want to get StreamYard up as well so I can see your comments here. Bill Gurley won't hold back. Seriously. Kevin is like my cool friend who lives in Canada. That's really nice of you to say. Weren't you live one-on-one with Vlad yesterday? I certainly was. Microvision's been kicking butt. I'm still trying to figure out why it's been kicking butt like this, but it's been kicking butt. Let's look at Microvision. I own some Microvision. Let me see how much money I have in Microvision. I always like to be transparent. Microvision. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh, damn. I thought I had a small position there, but I'll just show you. Hold on. So this is my Microvision. It is, as you can see here, it is 136K. Bought at a horrible time back when I bought it. Fully admit that. It was total bullcrap when I bought it. But oh well. That was very bad technical analysis. But anyway, $54,000 up by holding it. That's crazy. That's great. Yeah, I thought I bought like 70K, so that makes sense. Wow, that's really grown. Okay. Oh, Lou's back. Let's see if Lou has anything to say. And we'll go to the sticks and we'll look at Microvision a little bit more, and we'll try to figure out what's going on with Microvision.
The National Guard in Washington since January 6th has reached $438 million. That's a frightening shot for some people, by the way. You can see them all on the steps of the Capitol. The cost will rise as several thousand guardsmen may be staying in D.C. through the end of March. Well, meanwhile, Bank of America is reportedly sharing private information with federal investigators to find those who were at the Capitol on January 6th. And this is reportedly being done without customers' knowledge or consent. According to Fox News' Tucker Carlson, the bank identified 211.
That's actually that's potentially a risk factor, right? If you have rumors about somebody buying out Microvision and they don't come true, the thing will plummet. But is that true that maybe Apple's considering picking up their tech? I mean, I know they are desperately looking for somebody to buy them. I do know that. Let's look at that. MViz, Apple. Let's put those two together and see if there's a connection here. Will Apple, okay, mostly a rumor right now. Rumor, Microvision flying high after rumors of Apple patent. Really? Oh my gosh. This is back in April of 2011. These rumors were flying. My gosh, these rumors have been going on forever. Makes you wonder if it's time to take money off the table there. I just hate selling stock, though. Hate it so much. Microvision. Let's try that instead of the ticker here. Microvision. I guess I should do this. There we go. Microvision. Yeah, this rumor has been around for a while. A long while. I don't see anything new on this. So what's happening at Microvision? Why is this doing so well all of a sudden? Microvision. It doesn't seem to make sense. Sometimes the hype movement is incredible, though. 2 hours ago, is Microvision the stock to buy this week? Can somebody give me a little bit of an idea as to what the heck's going on here? Let's see what Seeking Alpha says. Sometimes Seeking Alpha does pretty well. No. Okay, let's try MViz over here. Very bearish. But the last article we had on Seeking Alpha was December 30th. Yeah, we can look at the Bloomberg. Let's look at Bloomberg. I guess since we have it. MViz small cap. Oh, no way. Look at this. Somebody says, that's cool. I know Bill Gurley, worked with him before, pinged him for you. That's amazing. Oh, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. That's super cool. I think the YouTube audience would love to see Bill. I mean, the perspective, I mean, some of the things he was saying, these are things we just haven't even considered. Absolutely brilliant. Really, really brilliant. WallStreetBets must be pumping it regarding Microvision. Maybe. Let's go on the terminal here, look at news. I really want to take a bite at Tendies, but I'll have to wait. Volatility surges as shares rise 12%. Social media volume surges. Let's see where it is. Is it Twitter or where is it coming from? Twitter. Twitter activity way up on Microvision. They have bots that track this stuff. Why though? Can somebody give me an idea why? I get what's happening here, but why? It's hard to say. Implied volatility up. Put call ratio is 0.8%. Very, very low for shorts. Compared with the average. Oh, wow. Yeah. So lots of call activity here. Massive call activity on this. Interesting. Why? What do people know? Microvision, so options surge. Call volume above normal, directionally bullish. But we have there's no news. A YouTuber made a video on them. See, that's what makes me nervous is when a YouTuber pumps a stock. Let's do it. Who was it? And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I don't want to think that like a stock is going to be sustained up because of this. MViz. 2 days ago. Oh, this here? Let's give it a brief look. Oh, hold on. I got to turn off Bloomberg.
How we can help them.
So what, in addition to vaccines, there are people needing...
No, we don't care about that. So pause this for a sec. I mean, we do care about vaccines and health and stuff like that, right? All right, let's... Oh, dude, you're going to give me
MVIS. And the reason why is because this was one of the top rated posts on the Trek Stocks subreddit.
Wait, you're investing it because it was one of the top stocks on Reddit? Bro, no. I want to be in before Reddit starts talking about it, which I was in this case, but still. I got 92,000 views, though.
Jawbone. Dr. Mark is on the board of directors, having previously worked at
Okay, I know there are a lot of good connections. I got you. And I know I'm not giving this video justice by clicking around. He's providing good info, but this is all straight off the Reddit post. He's reading all the stuff from the Reddit post. Oh, damn. Let's go to the Reddit post then. Let's see what they're saying on Reddit then. Let me go right to the source. Let's go. MViz. I didn't know you could get good views doing that. That's cool. DD presentation 10 days ago. That's probably it. What is this? Oh, is this a slide deck or something? Keep in mind, okay? Yeah. You got to remember that Microvision is trying to sell themselves. They are literally trying to sell their company. And so there's a lot of sales that goes into what they're pitching. Like, I want to actually see an acquisition happen. How's Dogecoin? Microvision has invested millions of money on balance sheet into Bitcoin? Really? That's crazy. Really? I mean, it's awesome. Microvision. Are you sure you're not thinking of a different, like, I think you're thinking of Microvast, wasn't it? Microvision Bitcoin. Microvision. I think you might be thinking of Microvast. Maybe not. Microvast, was it? Who was it? Somebody put a bunch of money into Bitcoin. I don't know. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see how the heck Microvision makes money. Yeah, I don't know about that involvement into Twitter or into Bitcoin. We'd have to verify that a little more. All right, let's go. Let's look at the sticks here for a moment. Actually, really quick, because that Bloomberg interview is so good. I can't get over that. Let's see what they're talking about now. Nothing. Jerks. Commercial again. Oh, man. All right, let's listen to options action.
This one.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at MGM more so on the online betting side with the Super Bowl here this weekend. There's a lot of interest in the BetMGM side of the business that is expected to grow quite a bit here on Super Bowl weekend here. So if we take a look at the chart here on MGM here over the past 2 years, we've had a pretty spectacular drop here from about $34 high back in January of last year down to just $6. And it clawed all the way back here this week to make a new 52-week high today. And I'm looking for a potential breakout here above this $34 level that it put in back in January as a potential breakout level all the way up to the next, the $38 level, which is the all-time highs. And if we zoom in here to a shorter term chart here over the last 6 months, the stock has been pretty much range bound from 30 to 32 over the past couple of months, and has just recently broken out above that range here this week. And especially if you consider the fact that it's been coupled with very strong relative strength relative to its sector, that's the type of relative strength that I like to see going into an earnings event here next week. So if we shift our attention here to earnings, the market is currently implying a fairly sizable move here, 7.9%. versus the over the past 8 quarters of only 5.5%. So the options market are implying a sizable move, yet the implied volatilities here going out a little further out in time is still relatively muted here. So for those reasons, I'm using a trade structure that allows me to take advantage of a breakout here and the relatively low implied volatilities using a debit spread. I'm going out to April and I'm buying the 35-40 call spread here, paying about $2.90.
All right. So apparently it is Micro Invest. Micro Invest. They're the ones. No, I'm sorry. MicroStrategies. MicroStrategies. They're the ones who put all the money into Bitcoin. More trade. MicroStrategy. What is this? MicroStrategy is meeting with public companies on Thursday to talk about Bitcoin and its merit as a store of value. A $6.3 billion business intelligence conglomerate in the United States will meet with public companies on Thursday to discuss Bitcoin. MicroStrategy said that professionals from over 1,400 firms are joining the event. Wow. Yeah, I wonder how it's doing right now, Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been up tentatively. Oh, yeah, may as well show this as well. This is the article here. Dogecoin at 47. And we've got, let's see, Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin is at 37.8. And what else do we have here? Oh, what? Here's an interesting article on Tesla. Let's pop this over quickly here. That would be interesting. Let's bring that over really quick. Oh, it's not strategy. It's something else. It says strategy. Okay. But anyway, I want to pull this up really quick. So where is this? Here we go. Tesla rumored to start semi-production in July. I think that's right when the Austin facility opens up, is what they're thinking. Dogecoin. Yeah, that's how to do it. Yeah. Dogecoin, 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 Dogecoin. It's all been said. Semi was unveiled, right? A Semi is expected to cost $180,000. New rumors say that the Semi could finally be ready for production. It didn't seem like Elon Musk was too enthusiastic about it, but their slide deck did imply that the Semi could be rolling off the factory lines towards the end of this year of 2021, which would be really incredible. That would be very good. Let's see how are our tweets. We need more retweets on this. We need many more retweets on this. We're at 283 retweets on this. For us to get Bill Gurley on here, I think we need at least 1,000 retweets. We got to go show some more support. So we need like 727 of y'all. So go to @RealMeetKevin. Go to the tweets and replies tab. First one, boom. Let's retweet this. Let's get Bill Gurley on here. I'm excited about that. So let's go back to the sticks. Let's see what's happening here in the sticks. Okay, so Microvision. Let's go to watch list here. Okay, after hours, Microvision up. We got Microvision up pretty well. Where's the? Oh, they're under recently viewed. Oh, okay, here we go. So Ocugen up, still 34%. Sold off a little bit here. Microvision up again, 3.5%. This right here, by the way, I haven't mentioned this one yet. I'm just going to do a quick little mention on this. This is Gores Holdings. This is a new SPAC that's potentially going to be merging with Matterport. I'm bullish on that. Naked brand. Yeah, definitely bought into this SPAC. As I say that, a red candlestick pops up, which is hilarious. GameStop, we're at 2.6% up in the after hours, which is nice. Gevo, 1.4%. Shift Technologies, Arcimoto recovering a little bit. Not a lot of crazy price action here in the after hours. Not a lot of things losing. EXPI, Tesla, flat. Okay, so nothing super exciting here. Okay, what else do we have here? Retweet gang. Why is your Twitter suspended? Somebody says their Twitter's suspended. Let's see what Bloomberg's up to. Ooh, Apple and talks an electric car. Let's go.
You've been looking into how they actually potentially benefit from the tension in their relationship. How?
So this has been a mutually beneficial relationship for many years, right? Apple sells phones or keeps people going to other platforms by, allowing, despite all the issues with Facebook, it to continue being on the platform. Whereas, Facebook has made so much ad revenue over the years by having access to those over 1 billion iPhone users and other device users. So it's mutually beneficial, but, the tension is heating up, and it will continue to do so over AR and VR in the years to come.
All right, Bloomberg Smart Gurman, thanks so much for your analysis there. We'll continue to watch your reporting. Now, sticking with perhaps the biggest tech story of the week, I'm joined by our Bloomberg senior executive editor, Brad Stone, who's been continuing to cover Jeff Bezos announcing he will be stepping down from Amazon later this year to be replaced by Andy Jassy. Brad, we talked the day this happened.
Let's hear
you
this.
were surprised. We all were surprised. Over the last few days, what have you been finding out about why Jeff Bezos is stepping down now?
Yeah, I was sort of shell shocked the day we spoke. I think everybody was. Here's someone, an internet icon, who has probably been the most successful and effective internet CEO, maybe even in history. And now a couple of days have passed, and you look back, and it seems natural in a way that he's done this. I mean, first of all, what I really sort of learned in researching his activities over the past few years is he has been stepping away. He's been very involved in the new products at Amazon, the Echo, the Project Kuiper, their effort to put satellites into space to provide internet access, the healthcare efforts at Amazon. But he's really been stepping away from the older businesses, the more mature businesses like retail and AWS, and letting folks like Andy Jassy run them somewhat autonomously. So in a way, this is a formalization of the status quo at Amazon. Another indicator is for the last year, he hasn't had a shadow or a TA, a technical assistant, the executive at Amazon who tended to follow him around. Jassy was Bezos' first TA at Amazon. The fact that Bezos hasn't had one, a role that's been so integral to his innovation and effectiveness at Amazon, was really an indication that he was beginning to step back and focus on those other efforts like his philanthropy, Blue Origin, and the Washington Post.
Now, this is a question that has occurred to me over the last couple of days, which is how easily do you think he will step away? And do you think he's actually going to...
I don't think really care. All right. Matterport said to be in talks with GameStop, maker of software for virtual tours. I use that on every single property. Matterport's such a great company. Okay, let's see what else we have here. So they're talking about Yeti. Let's see what Lou's got on. If Lou has anything, let's see what Lou's doing. This is on Fox Business, but we'll see.
And on specific individuals, and use the data that was illegally leaked to them by someone who had access to this data from big tech or one of the major cell phone operators. I don't know. Who leaked this data to the New York Times? Your private location data, if you're of the wrong political class, will be targeted and potentially leaked illegally and get published in the New York Times.
Yeah, politics. Yikes. Okay. So what else do we have here? Let's figure this out. Let's see here. I would say, let's understand the sticks a little bit. So, and I want to talk, let's see here. We are getting ready. We are getting relatively close to the end of the day. What is this talk? Hold on. I want to look at this really quick. This is a very interesting comment. Microvision also producing tiny consumer LiDAR tech. I know they want to produce tiny LiDAR tech that will, could basically be hidden in your mirror of a car. But consumer LiDAR Microvision. Take a peek at that. Consumer LiDAR. Yeah, but how? And what? What purpose? It's for identifying people, like coming in to a place. Oh wow! Look at this. Smart lights, smart locks. It's interesting. I wonder how we can. I'd have to read more about this, but this is fascinating because I've done a lot of work with smart products before, but. This solution will enable new product offerings in indoor home automation, sensing and navigating. Well, the cool thing is you would be able to determine if motion is a dog or if it's a human. That's for sure. Thereby the ability to build contextual maps, okay, by packaging the solution. Yeah, but why would you need that data? while maintaining privacy. Really would let you know, yes, there's a human, or no, there's a human, not a human. You'd be able to, oh, you know what you could do is you could have autonomous technology that basically says, like they're like occupancy sensors. Somebody's not moving in the room because they're watching TV, but they're there. An algorithm could determine the human is still in here. So have the thermostat on, have the TV on, have the light on. Human is walking away leaving instead of dog walking away leaving, and the stuff not turn off. Maybe. Very, very interesting. If you want to join the chat, Linus Linux text tip. Did I miss somebody? Linux. Oh, what's up? Producing tiny consumer. Yeah, no, that's really interesting. I'm speculating here on what these potential services could be for. And if you were trying to join the chat, if you're on iPad or iPhone, you won't see the join button. I don't know why. YouTube has problems. I think we can all agree with that. Okay, fascinating. I have to say on Microvision. I again though, a lot of prototypes. Not bullish on 23andMe. I'm going to post a standalone video after this about 23andMe. I'll talk about that. Bullish with Lyft. I'm staying away from Lyft and Uber. Too many headwinds with this robo-taxi network. And all it takes is Elon Musk going, all right, everybody is getting robo-taxi capability. Those things are going to plummet. Even if it's a crappy rollout, like the sooner that comes, I don't know. I'm nervous on them. Now, they are a potential recovery play, but if you're trying to play a recovery play, go buy a restaurant or something else like Cheesecake or Dave & Buster's or whatever. I'm not in the recovery plays. I'm really into the tech, but that's just my preference. Maybe that's a mistake. I don't know. All right, what else we got on? We got nothing here. Nothing on the blooms. Come on, somebody give us something to talk about. Now, what's this?
The women leaders.
Commercial. Great. Of course. Okay. Frozen. Fine. Comments. Apple is all over robo bus taxi. They're going to detect if you're present and play ads to your TV. I just know it. That's actually brilliant. That your privacy basically gets leaked to the point where it's like they play the ads. Like you pay more for an ad when the person is actually in the room. That's so invasive, but also potentially so brilliant. Definitely speculating there, obviously. That's a good one, though. Super Bowl. Talk about Super Bowl ads and companies. Are the Super Bowl ads posted? I think Lucid posted one, right? I'll look some up. Let's see.
It wants to go higher. It got a little spooked by that.
No, okay, we don't have anything here. So let's do that. Let's pause. Let's pause this. And let's go to not Gmail. Let's look at Super Bowl ads. Can we see these? Super Bowl ads 2021. Sneak peek 3 days ago. Oh, maybe we can. No, but if I play these, I'm gonna guaranteed get demonetized. Oh, but there's the Lucid one. Oh man. Oh, I want to see that so badly. Oh man. I'll do Lucid. I'll take the risk. This could be really stupid. We'll have to pause it a bunch. All right. GMC, AMC making rounds. GMA, AMC making rounds. I don't know. Maybe I'll. Here. Let's just click around for a sec. Okay. We don't want to risk it. Okay. Cool. Nice looking interior. Futuristic looking. Really cool lights. Really cool colors. You gonna tell me anything about automation? I mean. I can't tell. Is that somebody's? Oh, they're not driving. They don't actually show the person driving. Oh, we hit play on it. There comes the demonetization. Let's see. Oh, we did it again. I mean, that was their Super Bowl ad. They basically just showed off the car. Okay. I mean, all right. Oh, this is not going to be the actual Super Bowl ad. This is just a random video that's uploaded. Okay, good. I mean, it has a decent like ratio, really. Give me the CCIV merger, and I'll buy myself a Lucid. Seriously. Yeah, if that merger goes through, there are going to be a lot of people wanting that. Really? Announcement on Super... Yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptical. It does look nice. It doesn't have that, like, McLaren look to it or whatever, but, yeah, it's definitely got that, like, Mercedes, BMW, like potentially next level of that. Look, very, very true. Okay, what do we got over here on the CNBCs?
Happens, equilibrium, buyers and sellers are matched off before something occurs. Many would say, yeah, Carter, it's going to break out down through the bottom. That's not my bet. I think it's going to break out to the upside.
A single share of stock would cost you more than $3,200 right now. One round lot, which is 100 shares, would be $320,000. So one thing we could do is look to buy a call option on a like amount of shares instead, and then look to sell some of the elevated options.
Lots of options talk now, which I know that's the topic they talk about here, buying calls and so on. Let's jump on over to this for a moment. Oh, wait, here we go.
After the Apollo program, we're going back to
that's space. Okay, we'll just keep listening here for a second.
25-50 calls against it for $37.50 a piece. Net, you're going to be spending the equivalent of $236.50 per share.
All right, so you know what happened? Amazon posted very strong results, but then announced that Jeff Bezos will step away from his role as CEO. We'll get to Mike in a second with the trade, but Carter, what's your take at this point?
Right. So the breakout for earnings for a resolution of the standoff 5 months sideways has been deferred, not canceled, which is to say the operating business, the premise for the breakout in hand and delivered. And yet, of course, when the founder of an enterprise such as this steps down, people rethink it, at least on a short-term basis. So stay long and...
Hey, take a look at this. Somebody mentions they were able to contact Bill Gurley. Bill Gurley's interview, so good. So freaking good on this whole Robinhood situation. And I think it would add a whole lot of perspective for really people on YouTube, especially because this is most of us who trade on Robinhood, we're not sitting here watching Bloomberg TV all day long, all right? I think the audience it would be perfect for him. So thank you for that setup. That's really incredible. I appreciate you. Okay, let's jump on over. Let's speaking of Bloomberg. Okay, we're talking about human space travel over on Bloomberg. Over here, we're talking about options action. Let's see what Fox Business has to say. Lately, they've only been talking about politics. Let's see what this is.
With bitterness that it's destroying this nation, they need to let go of it.
Yep, right back to politics. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on over to the sticks. Let's see what we've got going on. What's pushing here in after hours? All stocks here recently viewed. I want to see these as well. We've got Gore's Holding now up almost 10%. Folks, this is the Matterport SPAC. I'm excited about this. I haven't said it yet. I don't know. Should I say it? I don't know. I just put a lot of money into this. This is not a sexy EV. Oh, sorry. It's not a sexy like electric vehicle stock. We don't have a slide deck yet on this. We don't have details yet. We think it's going to be a $2 billion valuation. Matterport, talking about LiDAR, okay? We want to talk about LiDAR? Let's talk Matterport. Matterport uses LiDAR to make 3D maps of the interiors of homes or commercial spaces. And these are basically a perfect tool for selling properties without people actually going to see them. In fact, I think the easiest thing that I could do really quick is just pull up a sample. I'll do that really quick, but that's that SPAC. Now, we're still missing a lot of detail on that one, but boy, am I excited about that one. I will log in really quick to my Matterport. I got a lot of Matterports. Oh, I can't. Why can't I? Oh, I'll pull it up. I'll make it happen. We'll get on here. Let's see what CNBC. Redfin uses them exclusively. Yes. Actually, that's probably going to be an even easier way. Generally, any listed by Redfin, but I'll pull up mine. Matterport. I think I have a couple hundred scans with them, just on my own kind of stuff, and I don't do it for a living. I've been pitching Matterport forever though, as something that somebody can do as a side hustle, make a lot of money. GHIV is the ticker symbol. That is correct. So let me give you an example here. So if I go to, I'll look at a hoarder house here. Yeah, that's fun. We'll look at a hoarder house together really quick, and I just want you to see this technology. So hoarder house, where is it? Here we go. Hoarder house before, hoarder house after. Oh yeah. Oh folks. Man, this was right before the pandemic hit. But this is the kind of stuff that Matterport technology can do for you. This is a Matterport camera, and it uses LiDAR to make these 3D floor plans of a property, which you can then turn into a 2D floor plan. I could go in here and measure things because of the LiDAR technology, right? It's a little tough when it's a hoarder house like this. It's not perfect, but I mean, look at that. And I got it set to meters, but anyway, I mean, that's pretty cool technology. 3.6 meters. What is that? Let's do it here. 3.63 meters to feet. That is about 12 feet. That's probably accurate for that. Yeah, that's awesome. I have to say the technology is amazing. And this is SPACing. We just heard about this a couple hours ago. I talked to course members about it a little bit ago. But yeah, this was the hoarder house that I bought. I bought this at the beginning of last year, at the beginning of the pandemic. In fact, we were cleaning it out as the pandemic was coming, and like all the respirators that I was trying to use on this all of a sudden became very, very valuable. But yeah, I mean, the place is a disaster, right? But for before and afters, I mean, like, or even me coming in here and trying to figure out what to do, such an amazing, amazing technology. Okay, let's go to the after really quick, and I'll show you what that looks like. So this is the same exact house. You saw that nasty kitchen, right? Here's that same exact house, same exact kitchen cabinetry, just all the junk gone. All the junk is gone. The cabinets are painted. This is the stuff I teach in my rental renovations and my real estate investing course. But yeah, this is that same house, just Matterport scanned. Like to see there, you can actually see the Matterport Pro 2 device. Yeah, this is this technology is really, really cool. See there, you can see the top of the Matterport camera, but really amazing technology. And look, a much cleaner 3D scan here, right? So cool. And this is kind of the LiDAR picking up, combining with the cameras. There's my car. But yeah, really, really amazing technology. I'm very, very bullish on that Matterport technology. I think it's going to be a while, though, before it goes mainstream. So I think it could be a slow growth stock. You know, the SPAC excitement will come and go. It'll be a slow growth stock for time, but it's one that I'd rather be in than not. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Ooh, shows discoloring as well. Shows everything, right? You like the floors? Thank you. Appreciate that. That's nice. Put in the work. Yeah. It's not just stocks. It's also lots of real estate. So let's see here. Give me a shout out. You're going to work on a video this weekend? Let's see it. Yeah. So let's see your video. All right. So what do we got over here? Oh, look who's up, folks.
92.
Nope, wrong one.
NASDAQ climbing 0.57%. Thanks to decent earnings and an unemployment number that was weak enough to keep the stimulus balls in the air, and the market needs that. But the real driver of this week's terrific move was actually last week's turmoil. Last week, the Reddit revolutionaries produced some crazy action, which caused a bunch of important strategists to go downright negative. Their newfound negativity allowed us to get back on track because it meant we had lots of bears who could then turn back into being bulls as the week went on. And that's what happened when we got tremendous reports from a video game publisher, Activision Blizzard, a car company, Ford, and a cosmetics titan, Estee Lauder. We'll hear from their brilliant CEO, Fabrizio Freda, later tonight. With that in mind, what's the game plan for next week? All right, Monday we go right back to gaming. When Take-Two Interactive reports, we'll find out if it's more like the delightful Activision or the disappointing Electronic Arts. Knowing CEO Strauss Zelnick, I bet we're going to get a nice upside surprise, especially now that we're starting to get leaks about the next Grand Theft Auto version. Ooh. Remember, that is the biggest franchise in gaming history. How about the...
I would play that. I should stream that. Yesterday at midnight, I streamed Rust. Grand Theft Auto.
Even Foot Locker. Is the strength real? I can't wait to find out when we get results from Simon Property Group, the largest mall owner on Earth. Tuesday morning, we hear from the news.
You guys are terrible. Why is he on screen? He looks like he lost weight. The market manipulator. Hate the sound effects. I wish someone would money monster this guy. Annoying. Oh, my God. Oh, wow. All right.
Cash. With the Democrats running Washington, investors are going to be going nuts again for cannabis, right? I mean, look at Jazz Pharmaceuticals buying my favorite marijuana, Jason play, GW Pharma.
Is GameStop making a run? Let's go to GameStop. I did not know you guys were hating this guy. Let's see here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What am I doing? What are we doing? GameStop. Let's go. Here we go. Boom. Oh, it is. Yes. Look at that run. Yes. Oh, man. I'm excited to see GameStop run. I am. I like that. Oh, good. Push over here. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, geez. Gores. Oh, my God. There are no sellers. There are no sellers at all for Gores. It's so true. That's bad, though, because it means the price is going to be really unstable. But I feel like this hasn't really gone mainstream yet. The technology either hasn't. It's like a little bit of a niche technology, but I got to be in this, man. I got to be in it. Your orders might execute at a premium, though, if you're buying this after hours. But then again, who knows what's going to happen Monday morning? I don't care. If it sells off, I'd consider buying more. Yeah. Yep. GameStop. Uh-oh, what happened? Under 70 again. Oh, look at the red candle. Garbage. Hate that. What a burn. Man. It is a nice little run, though. Is the market still open? Technically not. The market is closed. We are looking at after hours, which is ridiculously volatile. Sometimes it's honestly stupid to buy in the after hours because there are not enough sellers, there are not enough buyers. So sometimes you're paying a ridiculous premium. Unless there's way more hype, on Monday, and then you ended up lucky that you got in. So after hours, you gotta be careful. You get screwed investing in after hours. It's a mess. Oh well. I'm surprised how many of y'all are like super anti Mr. Mad Money over here. What's he saying about Simon Property? Let's listen.
Yes, the mobile gaming play. The whole video gaming business is on fire, and the rising tide is lifting all boats, including Zynga. Now, if GameStop had been smart, they could have done a big equity offering last week and used that money to buy this thing. But with the stock back now down in the 60s, well, look, let's just say they missed the opportunity or they'll continue to miss it. I wanted to get Nate.
I don't know that I want to talk about Zynga. What's this talk right here?
In fact, become stronger going forward if the new set of stimulus activities, unemployment benefits and stimulus checks go out there, because until people can actually go out and buy consumer discretionary services, they are going to continue to rotate their spending into the manufactured goods and into housing, which is, of course, very supportive of retail residential construction. But until we really get a change in consumer behavior that comes from getting the vaccine, that comes from being comfortable to get out there, that comes from having the businesses actually be out there to be purchased. Are you going to go to the restaurant? Well, you need a restaurant to go to. Are you going to go to the theater? You need the theater to go to. Are you going to go travel? Well, borders have to be open. So until we really get a change in consumer behavior and in business behavior, we're not going to see that improvement in the job creation across those sectors. They're very.
Councilor, give us a sense of how far we are off the mark. That is to say, if you had a track of potential for the economy before the pandemic and where we are now, what's that gap look like?
Well, as I say, we're not actually back to where we were in January, just a year ago. That timetable, if you were optimistic, you might have said it was going to be the late first quarter, early second quarter. But it really seems to be moving off into the second half of the year, and that again is because the vaccination, the discoveries, of course, fabulous. We couldn't do it without discoveries, but there are many other links in the chain in order to actually get to the economic improvement and employment improvements. You've got your distribution, you've got your manufacturing, again, consumer behavior, businesses' response, and in the global context, and to a certain extent, even in the local U.S. context, we have to be talking about border closures, the comfort that people have by moving out of their comfort zone, their local neighborhoods where they're more familiar. And we have a long way to go for that.
A lot of the talk this week was about the stimulus package that President Biden is proposing, and he's really moving forward pretty.
What do you think, y'all? Should we tweet Jimmy Chill right here? Let's get you on YouTube. Would you be interested in talking to us live on YouTube about GME, Robinhood? I should say maybe semicolon investing today. DM me, Jim Cramer. Yeah, I don't know. Should we send this? Jimmy Chill? My comment. Yeah, are my comments worth $4.99? Of course your comments are worth. I mean, I appreciate y'all being here. Do it. All right, let's do it. But I need your all help. That's 2 tweets. We got to get 2 no sound effects. Okay, one of you said no, a couple of you said yes, send it. We'll send it. We'll see what happens. If you can, then do go to, look, see, that one actually showed up on the homepage. Go to @RealMeatKevin on Twitter, retweet the Jimmy Chill one, But also, if you can, make sure to go to tweets and replies. And we need some more retweets over here. We don't have enough retweet we retweet love. Let's continue to listen to the Bloomberg lady here, what her opinions are here.
Be ready to, will the services sectors be ready? Will there be jobs in those services sector? Will there increasing employment? Will people feel comfortable? Will they be vaccinated yet? If the money gets out there, it's great for those who need it, of course. But when we think about the spending patterns, it could go into more goods or be saved if the services sector in the economy is not ready yet. The vaccines aren't prepared yet.
Very briefly, Catherine, Are you worried they may just save it?
I think a lot of people will be saving it, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That'll be good in the second half, but not right now.
Exactly, sooner or later. Okay, thank you so much to Catherine Mann of Citi. Coming up, sorting through the aftermath of the GameStop frenzy. Sebastian Malaby of the Council on Foreign Relations tells us what he thinks went right and wrong.
With respect to Robinhood and the fact that it had to close down access to trading on certain stocks, that's the kind of market interruption which regulators ought to take action on.
This is Wall Street Week on Bloomberg.
All right. I'm curious to see some more opinions on GameStop. So we'll stay tuned for this to see what they say about GameStop. My guess is Jimmy would have to get it cleared through the CNBC legal team. But they can figure that crap out. That's why they got a legal team. So go figure it out. No excuses. Get your butt on YouTube and come talk to people. You gotta, the 2006. No, I've seen that video. I don't know. I was thinking about making a standalone video on that. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, when every channel says it's over, I absolutely don't think it's over. Are you talking about GameStop? You think everybody's saying it's over and you don't think it's over? Trading was stopped twice today. Let's leave this open. So once these ads are done, we're going to be able to see what the thoughts are of Bloomberg here on Robinhood and GameStop again. So we'll see. That'll be exciting. Let's jump on over to Webull. Looks like Webull's actually closed down here. So let's open it up again. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so GameStop 7.4842%, something like that. Let's see what we got. Yeah, okay, 63. It fell back off that 70 fast, huh? That was a fast fall. What happened? Yeah, it went up to 72. And wait, what is it now? Last change after. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It's at 67. 5% off. Okay, 67. Yeah, but still a good little shift there. Interesting. Tater help me, Kevin. Oh, I appreciate that. It's really nice of you. Kevin, can you review Jim Prayer? Explain it? Yeah, no. I would be willing to do a video on that. Yeah, I'll do that. Are you worried about your individual ID? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Let's see here. So GameStop naked MVIS. MVIS was up more than this in the after hours. Okay, let's wait for Bloomberg here. I'm really excited for Bloomberg here. Wait, hold on. What's this?
Democrat senators trying to put you on the hook for massive debt when they have no clue, no idea about what the incentives are in terms of what colleges are doing and jacking up and gouging middle-class families. New York Federal Reserve has said that Democrat senators are wrong on forgiving student debt. Well, their study basically shows evidence of how they're wrong. We're going to break this down. Plus, a battle to reopen schools. It just took a brand new turn. That story next.
It's frustrating knowing other schools are having
a recession resulted. That was Louis Rookheiser on Wall Street Week back in 1987 after Black Monday. Markets have been shaken again over the past 2 weeks as Reddit day traders boosted shares of companies like GameStop and sent short-selling hedge funds running, with long short funds losing 6% overall last month and Melvin Capital alone plummeting 53%. But most hedge funds emerged unscathed, and Steve Cohen's .72 even attracted $1.5 billion in new money.
I assume hedge funds are probably reluctant to short small cap stocks right now for the fear that the Reddit brigade might be behind those.
But by early this week, GameStop's to the moon rally started to come back toward Earth, and not even the Reddit flash mob or changes at the top of the company could get the irrational exuberance going again, reminding us why hedge funds and short sellers target companies like GameStop.
The investor that gets caught in the updraft on that and doesn't understand that investing, while it looks like it's all going up, did the person who clicked the last buy understand that that could happen to them that quickly?
I asked Counsel on Foreign Relations Senior Fellow Sebastian Mallaby if anything will fundamentally change in the hedge fund world.
I think that hedge funds, which of course go back to the 60s at least, have proven to be an amazingly robust platform from which to think creatively about risk. And so they adapt. They get new stuff gets thrown in their ways. When they began, there was no such thing as trading currencies because currencies were all fixed together. Bond markets hardly existed. You had to trade stocks by appointment. And they adapted all the way through that as everything changed. Fintech, the advent of Reddit, the advent of Robinhood. This is just the latest iteration in a long, long history of financial innovation. And every time hedge funds figure it out.
You also have regulators trying to figure it out, as it were, after the fact. We have the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen, now saying she's meeting with regulators saying we need to take a hard look at this, about the volatility and whether this might actually put in jeopardy some investors. We also have hearings in Congress coming up. Do you expect there might be some tweaking, at least, to the regulations?
I think with respect to Robinhood and the fact that it had to close down access to trading on certain stocks, that's the kind of market interruption which regulators ought to take action on. You need the infrastructure of trading to be robust. You need to look at the plumbing, as some regulators put it. So I think that part of the system will definitely deserve a fresh look.
But we certainly had some...
That formula, that secret formula has got to get fixed. That's such bullcrap, what's happening with Robinhood and the shutting down of freeze. Nah, it can't happen.
Of hedge funds is that through their long history, they've proven to be small enough to fail. They're not too big to fail. They actually can blow up. And people often cite long-term capital management in 1998 as the big exception. Actually, if you go back and look at that incident, the New York Fed convened the banks to recapitalize it, but no taxpayer money, zero, went in. So freestanding hedge funds, I'm not counting here the subsidiary of Bear Stearns that went wrong in 2008. But freestanding hedge funds have never had a taxpayer bailout. Melvin Capital has not needed a taxpayer bailout. That's the good thing about hedge funds.
And so that raises the largest question maybe. Does this all matter? I mean, it was good fun to watch from the sidelines. Certainly some people were hurt, some people were benefited. But ultimately to the markets and to investors, for that matter, does this all matter?
Does it matter? Sure. It's interesting that more individual participation in stock trading is a rising force. I think that fintech will be here to stay and will continue to drive changes in the characteristics of markets. But I don't think it has to be destabilizing, so long as the infrastructure is sound and you don't get interruptions in trading or the failure of a big clearinghouse.
Sebastian, is there a potential connection to larger macroeconomic policy? We're seeing various, I won't call them bubbles, but certainly spurts in various places. Look at Bitcoin, the way it shoots up, it comes down, shoots up again. Is this in part perhaps because there's so much liquidity being pumped into the global financial marketplace, led, of course, by the Federal Reserve, but also the ECB, the Bank of Japan?
Well, you're absolutely right, of course, that we've seen unprecedented liquidity pumped into the system worldwide. If you look at the stimulus after the 2008 financial crisis, it was a fraction of the size of this COVID injection of money. And we know from experience that you pump a lot of money into the system, it doesn't always create inflation in normal prices. Your eggs in your grocery store might be okay, but the nest eggs, they go up. And that's what you've been seeing in asset markets all over the place. And I think that is froth. I don't agree with Chairman Powell when he plays that down. I think it doesn't matter if a particular cryptocurrency goes up and goes down. That's the problem with the people trading that stuff. I think the same about a specific stock like GameStop. But when the whole system goes up, what we know is that the last two recessions in the United States, the 2001 recession was off the back of the NASDAQ crash in 2000. And of course, the 2008-09 recession was off the back of the subprime crash. So we've moved away from a world in which traditional business inventories adjust and that causes a recession, into a world where it's financial imbalances that cause recessions. And so I do think the Fed needs to care about that. It's a balancing act. You want to print a lot of money when the economy is really in bad shape, but there is this risk that you create froth, bubbles, and then ultimately instability.
What is the track record of the Fed trying to deal with that? Because I don't think it's been a very happy one.
Well, they've had a philosophy of clean up afterwards. And in their own telling of the story, they did that pretty well after the NASDAQ crash in 2000. And hey, there was only a very shallow recession. I don't take that view myself because actually the response to that recession in terms of very low interest rates, if you remember, the Fed was down at 1% on the federal funds rate in 2003. That was super low at the time. And that definitely contributed to the real estate bubble that then took hold afterwards. So I think, you get a bubble, you throw enormous amounts of monetary stimulus to try and fix it. That creates a new bubble. It's even bigger, even more monetary stimulus comes off the back of that. And I do think we're in a cycle where the Fed's kind of standard line, which is, don't worry about bubbles, we'll just clean them up afterwards. I'm not sure that's the best strategy.
Thanks to Sebastian Mallaby of the Council on Foreign Relations. The extreme volatility.
I have to say, that was really interesting. I mean, what this guy is saying is he's basically describing that the Fed inflates a bubble, then the bubble starts leaking, and then it's almost like they just put a new bubble inside of that bubble and blow that bubble up. It's a bubble on a bubble on a bubble. Very interesting. Very interesting argument. He also mentions that low rates and all this money printing are really creating these bubbles. Of course, a lot of people share that opinion, but golly, it just certainly feels like the kind of market that you can't be out of. Let's see if this person ends up talking about Robinhood here.
On the other hand, if the market gets driven by speculative frenzy, it becomes tulip mania, and there are a lot of people who will get hurt. If there are people holding GameStop at very high values right now, and the underlying fundamentals do not support it, they're going to end up losing a lot of money in the long run, even though they may have made money in the short run, and it's a concern. And by the way, it also reinforces the Biden administration needs to have its financial regulatory officials on the job, and they're going to need to get pushed through and confirmed in a hurry by the Senate in order to be able to address these kinds of problems that are arising right now.
Well, so let's go back to the CFPB that you were the first director of. As I recall, it came out of concerns about what happened to consumers coming out of the great financial crisis, 2008, 2009, where there was a frenzy, one might say, in the mortgage market, and some people got hurt. What was the solution then, and does it apply to what we're seeing now potentially?
Yes, and you're absolutely right. The 2008 crisis was driven by failures in the mortgage market. There was a huge impetus to reform in the mortgage market. Congress directed it. The CFPB carried it out. Those reforms were very solid, and the mortgage market recovered and has been very strong even now.
I just want to quickly interrupt and say it looks like some news just came through that Lou Dobbs is losing his Lou Dobbs Tonight Show, and that Fox Business will instead be hosted by the other hosts here. Well, let's see here. It looks like Jackie DeAngelis and David Asman, who filled in for Dobbs on Friday. Really? Because that's what, like, we've been occasionally clicking over to what should be the Lou Dobbs show right now. That's interesting. So we got canned. Whoa. Yeah, there you go. Really? Now, it says he's not fired, but he's unlikely to appear on air again. Wow. Potential legal issues or lawsuits or something. I don't know. Interesting. All right, let's keep listening to this about the market crash.
Struggle to overcome the pandemic.
Oh, no, they're over. It was over anyway. Okay. Wow. I feel like it's a big change. All right. It happens, I guess. Yeah, no kidding, huh? All right. So what else do we have going on? Well, let's see what our boy Jimmy Chill's doing. Let's just see. I know this is 50-50 for y'all. No, he's on commercial, so we can't even look at him right now. All right. What about the sticks then? Do I think the next stimulus will cause GameStop to run again? I don't know. That's a tough one. That's tough to say because the sentiment has just been so negative. You know, we really need some consistent green days to keep this thing up. 7% after hours here is good, but we need to see some more consistent green. My take. Let's see here. And with the theory that maybe deep F and value sold out, I don't know. I need a lightning round. That'd be fun. I think that's actually what they're going to do next. We'll see. So looking at the after hours here, let's pull it quickly here. After hours, again, we got GameStop up 8% right now. That's good. Matterport SPAC's up about 10, but there are very few buyers right now, so you got to be careful. MVIS, Gevo, Shift, such an undervalued company here. Shift, so good. Lou Dobbs, they killed Lou Dobbs. No way. I don't think we've seen deep F and value post, have we? Let's see. It's a good idea. Let's go check that right now. Go to Reddit. WallStreetBets. Wall Street. Jim is still on commercial, but I think we would be getting close to our lightning round here, so I think you're right. Let's see. Okay. WallStreetBets. Let's see what the latest posts we have are from WallStreetBets. So let's go to top now. Oh, if they go after deep F and value for this, the SEC is really sick in the head. Wait, so regulators are going to go after the GME guy for a smart pick, but ignoring Bill Ackman? Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. I don't think they will, but yeah, no kidding is the right answer. So still holding AMC and GME, not selling. Raise your diamond hand. A bidet a day keeps... right. Okay. Analysis on why hedge funds didn't reposition last time I was there. Okay, so we got some theories here. May face regulatory scrutiny. Jeez, man. What else? Coming soon. Game stonk to a theater near you. My gosh. I don't see any deep F and value posts. I mean, he did say he was going to take off, but sorry, but I will sell all my GME shares as soon as it hits 1,000. Yeah, unfortunately. Can you move the unpopular opinion? Yeah, totally. Thank you for that. Nothing from him for 2 days. Yeah, I'm telling you, his attorneys told him to sell out and he's done. That's my guess. I believe it. I'm sticking to it. Hold the line. When you lose. The memes. We gotta do these. WallStreetBets, as seen by the New York Times. Really? That was the Sundays? January. Oh yeah, January 31. Oh wow, I missed that page. Darn, that is interesting. Stonks, hold, squeeze. They should have said hodl. They messed up. Messed up on hodl. Oh, Jimmy's back. Let's listen to him for a little bit.
Play the kind that spent last year improving itself so that it can make a fortune once we're all vaccinated and the world goes back to normal. If the stock's hitting new highs now, can you imagine what's going to happen when makeup was so weak? It's going to turn around. America tumbled 15%. That could turn too. Just imagine what this company will look like when we beat COVID. Don't take it from me. Let's check in with one of my absolute, I don't know, maybe my favorite CEO. And he's on the show. I'm very excited about this. Fabrizio Freda. He's the bankable president and CEO of Estee Lauder Companies. You get a better read on this quarter. Fabrizio, welcome to Mad Money.
I don't know. I think if you want to go watch about the Estee Lauder interview here, you can go directly to CNBC and check that out. All right. Well, I mean, I think we've done pretty good here today. We've got a lot of opinions out in this video. Yeah, I appreciate y'all being here. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. And folks, hey, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for being here. Make sure to get your $30 for free with M1 Finance when you deposit $100. Go to metkevin.com/M1. And if you want to sign up for Webull, which is what we've been showing here the whole time, make sure you do that by going to metkevin.com/Webull. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.